You are about to experience the Drunken Peasants podcast, the greatest podcast in human history. Please recognize that this podcast is designed to be amusing and entertaining, and thus we engage in satirical comments, exaggerations, and even dirty jokes. If you are offended by such things, please go away and die. If you enjoy this podcast, we ask that you help to support its existence by contributing to our Patreon at patreon.com/DP. Contributors get regular access to monthly private shows, special commentaries, Google Hangouts with the peasants, and more. If you don't want to do that, you can also support the show by visiting audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to get a free audiobook and access to over 150,000 audiobook titles, including great selections on science and skepticism. And if you shop on Amazon.com, we strongly urge you to use one of the Amazon affiliate links in the description section of our videos. You can help support the show simply by using our link to buy things you were going to buy anyway. Now that we've got all that shit out of the way, sit back and enjoy the show.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Suck it!
There are starving children in the world, right?
Show me a child. Show me some empirical evidence it's happened. Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
What the fuck is going on?
Nothing, TJ. You're garbage. You're garbage, TJ.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
Scotty.
All right, here we are, everybody.
Sargon of Akkad is not here.
Yes, he is not here. There must have been a mix-up, probably due to the time difference.
Or something else. Who knows what? Probably hookers and ice cream. Maybe we just lied to you guys and told you he was going to be here so you'd watch. Psych, motherfuckers. No, we're not sure what's happening.
Right. Yeah, I communicated with him this morning.
But apparently Sargon of Akkad can't keep his shit straight, so he's not here. But I'm not going to disparage our guest, even if he's not here.
Gonna wait till he's here to disparage him.
Yes.
That's kind of you.
Gotta disparage him to his face, not behind his back, for I am a true gentleman.
Highly skeptical of your claims.
So we had this whole show planned for Sargon to be here, but now we don't know what we're doing.
So now it's
That's not true at all.
Everything's chaos now.
So me and Ben are gonna get up. TJ's gonna sit in front of the mic and make random noises for the rest of the show. So good night.
I did have a public service announcement to the DP Wiki.
Oh, okay. What is it?
DP Wiki. You've been dropping the ball lately.
Oh, wow, really?
On the last couple of... I used to go on there after every episode and read the episode summary and all the quotes and all the trivia and shit, and it was so well detailed. I was impressed that some people had so little to do in their lives that they would like literally just capture every moment of our show and transcribe
Look,
it.
TJ, they're very popular now. They have a lot of demands on their time.
But the last couple of episodes, I've gone on there and it's just been, shoddily filled out.
Look, they moved on
Tons
to
of it,
bigger
not
and better
for that.
things.
Yeah, they've transcended the podcast.
Yeah, now they're covering some bigger podcast of like three dudes on it that smoke, a lot of weed.
Like you?
No, not me. I mean,
That was the highest statement you've ever made on this show. It didn't even make sense.
The statement makes perfect sense. They've already gone on. They found 3 other people who are stoners who do a podcast similar to ours. So they probably found an even more popular podcast. Is what I'm saying.
So now they're just, what is the name of this more popular
I don't
than us
know
podcast?
because we're so on with it. We're so with it without the times. Whatever. I'm stoned. I'm just gonna shut up. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just fucking filling air. Blah blah blah.
Blah, 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 blah,
I don't
blah,
even
blah.
know. Who am I? What's even going on here?
Scotty,
What?
you need to wax philosophical. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to delve into your psyche a little. Put the camera back on Scotty. We need to we need to interview Scotty in this episode and figure out what makes him tick.
Okay, so you want me to put it back on him?
Yeah, put on Scotty.
All right. The camera was just on him a moment ago.
I know. So what's wrong with you, Scotty?
What do you mean? What's wrong with him?
Actually,
I mean, like at the core of your being, what is that rotten, dead thing that makes you act the way you do?
I thought a lot about this today, and it's funny you bring this up, TJ. It's actually the abuse at your hands for many years that has warped me into such a terrible human being.
Wow.
One time, me and teacher walked through the woods, and he's like, "You know what, Scotty? I could kill you now." And he pulled out a gun. He's like, "I could kill you, Scotty, but you know what? I want you to know for the rest of your life. I want you to remember this moment. I could have killed you, but I spared your life. Just so you know, you owe me the rest of your life." And then he left. And I sat in the woods for many hours, just thinking about life. And I just realized, TJ has, been an extremely destructive force in my life.
It's all true. It's all true, and it's all beautiful.
I've come to that realization as well.
Yeah, TJ is a self-destructive person,
well,
and he kind of pushes it off on other people because, TJ encourages you to embrace whatever bad habits. You'll never hear a bad thing from TJ about a bad habit.
There's something I like to refer to as the TJ factor.
The TJ factor,
and it's like
TJ factor.
Whenever there's a setback, it's the TJ factor. Like TJ has lost his debit card. We must go now on a mission to find TJ's debit
TJ has
card.
lost Scotty's wallet.
Yes, yeah, that's an example of the TJ factor. What about TJ wants cigarettes in Amsterdam at 3:00 in the morning? Let's walk for 25 minutes. That's the TJ factor.
The TJ factor. Where TJ selfishly puts his interests above the group.
You fucking piece of fucking shit. Then all those little sycophants following behind you want to strangle these people. I'm like, why are we fucking giving in to TJ's stupid desire to get fucking cigarettes at 3 in the morning? I don't give a fuck if TJ smokes a fucking cigarette. Why the fuck does that affect me? Why do I need to be on this fucking journey of TJ's fucking addiction? It's like, if TJ said the same thing, let's go find crack at 3 in the morning, I'm pretty sure this group would have still done it.
Shit, that I should have said that.
You would have come back with even less money.
By the way,
if I would have come back at all.
Yeah, there you go.
We do have some announcements. The private show for patrons is this Saturday.
Saturday at
6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Oh, but I wasn't done with my Drunken Peasants. You finished the other stuff.
Yeah, fuck you, TJ.
Also, our review video. When's that happening?
We're doing that on Wednesday.
We're shooting it on Wednesday, so it'll probably come out Thursday or Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
For those patrons.
All right. And
I believe we're doing the hangout for this month on the 29th.
Yes.
Saturday the 29th.
Yep.
We'll probably announce that a couple times again before it actually comes around.
Just to get
we don't have a time for that one, but we'll look into it.
Going back to the DP Wiki thing that we digressed from ages ago, more people that watch this show should go check that out, read the wiki, get an idea of its tone, and then start participating, because obviously they don't have enough people participating.
Sound like a fucking wiki shill,
well,
TJ. You're a shill.
It's because it became
You're a shill.
But it became my ritual to read it after each show, and when it's not filled out, I can't fucking read it.
There was infighting, remember?
So it inconveniences me personally.
Another problem they have there is there are people who want to contribute, but they're just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to weed through those people also.
Well, they're our fans, so what can you do?
There are less crazy ones than others.
Yeah, but the crazies always stand out.
Sure. I mean, the fans I think are the funniest are the fans that like one particular person and everyone else just shit. It's like, I love Ben, he's the greatest thing. Like, I love TJ. I don't care if he sticks a million bananas up his ass, he's always right.
Right. I don't get why they think they need to. It would be like, it seems like our fans feel the need to choose just one. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Love us all.
Yeah, love us all.
Love the Triforce.
We all get along. It's not like we're always.
Peasants.
Yeah, when we're not doing the show, we're constantly trying to murder one another.
Yeah.
Well, Ben and I argue, but it's more like a recreational hobby for us.
Yeah.
Like we just enjoy fucking arguing over stupid bullshit.
Well, it's boring if people just always get along.
TJ was getting all butthurt because I was winning a bunch of money gambling in Vegas,
yes.
and then like when TJ won a bunch all at one time,
I won.
yeah, he's like in my face like, yuck. Look what I did.
In all fairness, it did bother you.
No, it didn't bother. No, the rules that you were trying to place upon it that were totally in your favor bothered me.
Okay, what bothered us was not the fact that you won. Like, everyone was happy for you for like that you won a bunch of money. It was the fact that you like literally ran up and like, I'm the best.
I was.
You know,
in that moment, I was the best.
Okay, whatever.
I was the best.
You
around.
got lucky and won. I'm not going to deny you that you won.
You know,
But
you have
lucky.
no idea how exhilarating it is to finally win after spending days and days just losing and losing and losing. So.
Oh, I won a bunch of money. I'm just a fucking idiot as far as Vegas is concerned. I'm like, I'm going to win even more. And then, of course, you know how that turned out.
And you're like, now I'm going to win back what I just lost.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, to everyone that's wondering where Sargon is. Sargon has not communicated with us recently, aside from this morning. So we're not sure. We probably think there was a mix-up.
Headline, Sargon snubs peasants.
Well, he actually looked into us. He's like, oh, fuck. I'm a little busy now.
Oh, man. Got better things to do, like butter this toast.
Hey, he's probably buttering a scone, TJ.
A scone.
A scone.
I think he's British, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he's buttering a scone.
With his cock.
These were some articles of that he had asked us to cover. I'll probably save them for
Yeah,
when he
save him
comes
for
on.
when he comes on.
Yeah, save him for later, I guess.
Maybe I should do. Let's do videos first, and then we'll go into articles. All right. So here's Wild Bill for America.
Woo!
Oh, finally, a real intro.
Liberals and children and guns. Oh, my.
And
Hello, everybody. Wild Bill for America here. Let's talk
Hey, this
about
is
children
intros
and
back.
guns. When I was a little boy, that was a good thing. We shied cans off the fence posts and Dad tossed clay pigeons up in the air for us.
Yeah.
We all had our favorite cap guns modeled after our favorite TV heroes. And yes, our
Then
favorite
Columbine
games were war
happened.
games. We ran and played all day long, blasting away with our cap guns and yelling, I got you, which was always answered with, no, you didn't. And even though we had
So,
pretend guns,
is this life, or are you describing like something you saw in a children's cartoon? Because, you know,
he
sounds rather idealized.
Oh, yeah, this is his, like, you know, idealizing 50 years ago. It's like, when I was a kid, or however old he is, you know, we'd run around and play all day with guns, and it was just a normal part of life. And now liberals want to take our guns away.
Well, he was saying cap guns, which whatever. I had cap guns when I was a kid.
Yeah.
too.
Sure.
And I was smart enough to know the difference between
But
the two.
he was saying they fired real guns, too. Obviously not at
Sure.
each other, of course not.
Well, only occasionally.
Only when they got really pissed off.
Only if, you know, one stole one's girlfriend or something like that.
gunfights with each other, none of us would have ever taken a real gun and spilled real blood with it. Today, that has changed, and I think I know why. Liberal stupidity has invaded our schools.
Yep.
Little boys are marched off for punishment and mental health counseling if they so much as point their finger like a gun.
That is
Remember
true.
the kid who was
Yeah.
suspended for chewing his pizza into the shape of a gun? And how about the little deaf boy named Hunter? The liberal idiots at school told Hunter he had to change his name because when the little deaf boy said his name in sign language, he had to point his finger like a gun. What
Time to
these
change your name, Hunter.
Yeah. Why are you pointing your finger like that?
Most of the shit he's saying about American schools right now actually is true and also bullshit.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if
retarded.
it's necessarily liberals that propagate this shit 100%, though. Maybe it is with the gun thing, but there's plenty of, like, crazy shit conservatives impose upon the schools as well.
creationism.
Yeah, and also just, like, strange rules of etiquette. Like, when I went to school in Louisiana, they said, you know, I couldn't have long hair. That... You know, it's like, oh, it would distract other students. Like, no, it wouldn't. They really
yeah,
wouldn't
they
at
always
all.
use that. It's a distraction thing.
It's a distraction.
It was also
I'm
a
sorry,
state
your
law.
your ability to express your individuality distracts others.
I always wanted to say that having to pray in class was a distraction, but they made me do that anyway.
I was gonna say in Louisiana it was even a state law because it was in like your student handbook that like you had to say sir or ma'am to any teacher, and it was actually like it was like no, you could be punished by the school, but it's actually illegal. So you're actually violating the law of the state. It's like what the fuck is a state law? You have to be like yes sir. It's
Yes,
like,
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've
Sir, ma'am,
noticed.
sir, ma'am.
I've noticed that a lot of people from the South do the yes, sir.
Yeah, because as a kid, if you don't do that, you'll literally get yelled at. Like, how disrespectful you are to this adult. It's like, so you're just supposed to... It's not even about respect. It's just about, like, we want you to follow these formalities, and if you're not, then you're disrespectful. It's like, not everyone's raised the same.
Ridiculous educators are doing is turning weapons into the forbidden fruit. The more they freak out about weapons, the more the boys will be curious to try them out. And then...
That's not why.
Weapons are pretty freaky, though. I would say, like, if people actually have weapons, it may be a reason to freak out in some situations.
Yeah, like, if I was to just, like, take a fucking handgun and just, like, set it on the table in front of me, like, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I think everyone in this room would kind of be like, why did you just pull out a fucking pistol and
I
just
think,
set it
like,
down?
Ben and Scotty's demeanor would probably change slightly, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, well, imagine if we were talking and I just pulled out a gun and I was like, you know, do you agree with me? I mean, how are you going to feel then, you know? You're going to agree with what the fuck I say. Like, this guy's crazy. So, I mean, obviously, weapons do change any situation.
But, you know, it's this thing he's saying about, like, oh, it's the forbidden fruit. Like, oh, the adults prohibit guns. And then the kids are like, ooh, guns.
Sure, that'll happen sometimes. But I don't think every kid is just that gullible or like, oh, I can't fucking have a gun.
I don't think it is because it's a forbidden fruit. I think it's because guns are fucking fascinating to a lot of people. You know, it's just like sex is not appealing because it's the forbidden fruit. It's appealing because you have a genetic drive to do that.
Well, I'm saying with guns, I can see that's happening somewhat. Like, you're not allowed to play with this gun. You know, kids are. You tell them they can't do something, they naturally want to do it.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. So I could see that point, but I don't think it's to the extent he's talking about, where everyone's like, "Well, I'd have to get my hands on guns." A lot of people.
But he's saying that's the problem. Is like, oh, the forbidden fruit mystique.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that is maybe to a small degree, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Other liberal idiots provide entertainment for these kids, movies and video games that glorify
my
gun
hat is
violence, where
better.
kids see problems
bigger
being
buckles on
solved
it.
with blazing guns and blood and bodies everywhere.
Yeah, but
those two
it's more
things.
fiction.
I like how conservatives that share his opinion will attack violence in media, but it's okay. Like, it's all about the violence in the media that caused the shooting, not the accessibility of weapons also.
No, never.
It's pretty strange that they're more concerned with fictional violence than they are with real life violence.
And even more so about sex being in.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was
television
They'll never do
movies.
that.
You know, when I was in conservative school districts where they had these same anti-gun sort of things in the schools, I don't think it really is a liberal thing. I think it's more of just like they want to control the kids, and they're actually fucking terrified after events like Columbine that, you know, the kids are out of control, and especially if you're the weird kid, which of course I was. So it's like, oh, you get kind of singled out, like, oh, this is the one that might do something, you know?
Right.
So I think that actually it has to do with that paranoia too, not just, oh, you know, the liberals hate guns, so they're trying to make kids scared of guns.
They're idiots. It's like the 1984 mentality. It's like, well, you might think about committing a crime, so that's enough. It's like, what? You're just profiling people based upon, like, if you think they're normal or not.
But I don't disagree with Wild Bill too much yet, honestly, on this one.
You and Wild Bill should go hang out, TJ.
Do you want to keep listening to Wild Bill, or do you want to move on?
We could do whatever you want.
We'll let Wild Bill finish, and then we'll move.
We'll let him fish.
We'll let him fish.
Go
fish,
Wild Bill.
He's right near the water, so
Yeah,
it's
you know.
easy.
Like, go fish.
Get your
Go
pole.
fish.
A recipe for disasters. Kids who have never been taught proper gun safety. And then when a kid follows that path and shoots up a theater or a school, the liberal idiots who caused it
That's so
yell
dumb.
that it's the NRA's fault.
That's not what happens.
Yeah, the National Rifle Association.
You think that, like,
the number one,
like, surely the mystique and the taboo of guns is what causes people to go and shoot up a theater?
It's not mental illness.
That's, like, completely batshit crazy and wrong.
Look at the Sandy Hook massacre. Look at the Aurora, Colorado shooting in the movie theater. Both those guys were nuts. And I mean,
Yeah.
one's dead and one's was sentenced to life in prison, or was it to death? I don't remember. But the guy is crazy. I mean, he's clearly insane. It's like, why does this guy have access to weapons?
Indeed.
organization for teaching gun safety and responsibility gets the blame when it's really liberal stupidity that contributes to gun violence more than anything else.
So stricter gun
here's
control
a
somehow
Wild Bill bullet of truth.
is the cause of gun violence.
Yep.
No,
But-
the policies we have now are for loose gun laws. That's not true at all.
By the way, everyone, Sargon
Is dead.
will be available in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Sweet.
Came back to life.
Yeah. I have to get those videos back, or those articles back up that he wanted, though. Here, I'll just put this back up.
We have handed our children over to idiots. What youth need today is gun education. Boys especially need good men to take them out and teach them to shoot. With all the Second Amendment groups, Tea Party...
So gay. All right, son, we're going to go in the woods, and I'm going to teach you how to shoot.
I don't think we should mandate, like, in school, like, everyone needs to learn how to shoot a gun and handle weapons. Like, that should just be a requirement if you want to own a gun. Not everyone wants to own a gun.
What do you mean?
No
anyone who's a true American wants to own a gun.
Okay, now I have an impurity test. You're not a true American unless you have 10 rifles.
That's true. What's the point of having a Second Amendment if you're not going to use it? If you don't feel so insecure that you need yourself
what are your feelings
surrounded by guns,
what are your feelings on the
times,
Third
then
Amendment,
you're not a real
TJ?
American. The Third Amendment? What is that? Isn't that where no British soldier can take quarter in your home or some shit?
What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I approve because I noticed that there's not been any soldiers taking quarter in my home. So.
I'm a big proponent of the Third Amendment.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want them to. I wouldn't want to come home one day and there's some soldiers just sitting around on my couch playing with my Xbox.
So as you haven't seen that, has that ever happened to you in your life? You or Ben? Soldiers come to your house?
Ben is busy, Scotty.
Oh, Ben is busy.
Ben
okay.
is doing things.
Sorry.
I protected his freedom by being a Third Amendment proponent. So
yeah,
I'm doing a really good job.
Major proponent of the Third Amendment. That's really the most important one.
Yeah, the first and second, I'm not really too interested in those ones.
Third Amendment. That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. Okay, so
we're just trying to kill time before Sargon gets there.
Doing
Probably
a good job,
pretty
though.
Obvious. We're just yammering on about the Third Amendment like anyone gives a shit.
Anything else you want to talk about? Any other announcements of any sort?
Yeah, sure. TJ has AIDS.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. I have
cool.
AIDS.
He has AIDS.
I got a new dog.
Did you?
Yes.
Yep.
What kind of dog
You
is
didn't
it?
tell Ben you got a new dog.
He doesn't tell me shit.
God, you're an idiot, TJ.
It's a lab mix. It's black with a white underbelly and white paws.
He hasn't named him yet.
It's really lanky and it's floppy and it falls around.
And him and Yujiro are still working things out.
Yep. Yujiro wants to eat him.
He's fine with him until he starts trying to jump on Yujiro, and then that's not really working out. Then we start having the snapping.
Yeah, but you can see pictures of him on my Instagram.
Oh, he's on your Instagram now.
Yep. If you want to see. Or I guess there's a picture on my Tumblr, too. And my personal Facebook.
My Instagram, I take beautiful selfies of myself.
I do.
And my fans look at
Are you in the picture with the dog, or is it just the dog?
I'm in one of them.
Of course.
Well, I enhance.
So when do you come up with a name for the dog?
I'm thinking about Dimitri.
What?
And I'm thinking about Harlan.
Dimitri's a
Harlan?
Yep.
Dimitri's a terrible name.
No, because then I can be like, you disappoint me, Dimitri.
Oh my! For the one joke, come on.
Yeah, well, it's a good joke.
I think it's a terrible name.
I don't know. It kind of fits him if you've been around him. And also Harlan.
We shall see. We shall see, TJ.
So how about that Sargon, huh? Where's he at?
Just waiting for him to message me and tell me.
Fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna kick his ass.
Well,
He's kind of far
What's
away.
his excuse?
And then Scotty leaves.
Yeah.
Scotty's leaving. Scotty's like, I can't do this. I gotta go, guys.
So poorly run.
Show's falling the fuck apart. Scotty leaves. He's like abandoned ship.
Right. Dimitri.
Dimitri the lab mix. But I don't know. I'm still considering other names. He'll just fall off of shit, too. He'll be laying on the edge of the bed, and then he'll just fall off and not even notice.
How old is he?
He's a puppy. He's 8, 9 months old, something like that.
All right, looks like Sargon is ready.
Good. finally.
All right, here we go.
All right.
And by the way, sometimes the audio fucks up with OBS. So if he's really loud, we're aware that happens, but we have to adjust it.
There's nothing we can do.
Yep.
If we adjust it before, the changes just automatically happen.
Right.
So, fuck you. Sargon.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Man, I am so fucking sorry that I'm late. I really am. I feel like such a
Damn
dick.
well better be, you piece of shit. Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Nah, seriously, man, it's fucking unprofessional, isn't it?
Nah, it's all good. I can't complain. I'm about the most unprofessional motherfucker that could exist in this realm of being. So I was checking out some videos on your channel, trying to kind of get a feel for what you've been up to lately. I saw you did a show. I tried to write notes, but then Scotty dragged me off somewhere. You did a show with something Rubin guy?
Dave Rubin.
Dave Rubin of the Rubin Report.
Yeah,
and,
he used to be on the Young Turks.
Yeah, used to be on the Young Turks. Got out of there because he was tired of the political correctness. And you guys were drawing a really interesting distinction between liberals and progressives. I was wondering if maybe you could get into that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, I think that liberals just are not progressives necessarily, or no, that's the wrong way actually. Sorry. Progressives aren't liberals. That's the main thing. I meing, one of the things that progressives seem to argue for most before anything else is censorship. You know, I mean, the thing you've got on there, being called out for your sexism, is not censorship. It's like, well, you know, not many liberals need to worry about being, you know, distinguished between whether something is or isn't censorship. Generally, they're happy for everything to go and let people make their own choices. Whereas progressives are quite happy to shut other people's shit down because it offends them. And that's pretty anti-liberal.
Would you liken it almost to like a Red Scare type of atmosphere of, you know, people being able to dismiss another person just by calling them a communist? Now you can dismiss someone just by calling them a sexist or a race baiter, rape supporter, whatever term you want to throw at somebody.
Well, look at it. People saying socialist. Oh, these people are a bunch of socialists. Obama's a socialist.
Right.
Obama's a communist.
Yeah, it's like one of the main. It's a lot like any kind of ideological movement. There's always a label to dismiss someone. I mean, it's like when they're going off video games. Oh, this is Grand Theft Auto sexist. It's harmful to women. It's no different to Christians calling Dungeons and Dragons like Satanist, you know, back in the 80s and shit like that. Or when they were, you know, when they were saying, oh, it's all violent back in the 2000s and up to like 2006 to 2007, something like that. It's no different. It's exactly the same kind of you know, moralist scare mentality. That we have labels and we're going to use them.
What do you think drives the politically correct people, the like social justice warriors that have taken over so much of social media? Desire for power? What kind of power do you think?
It's just social control. They've got a particular mindset and they want to use it and they want to enforce it on everyone else. It always comes from a desire for power and probably fear in a way, but a desire for control.
I've always kind of thought it was in some ways an offshoot of, you know, I remember when I was, I mean, this is definitely still the case, but I remember back in the 90s when the internet was kind of new, we started seeing this phenomenon where tons of girls especially, but really guys too, would start self-diagnosing with mental illnesses and such things like that. I guess because they thought it made them more interesting or it excused their shortcomings or whatever other reason. And I kind of thought it was almost like the things I see now are almost like an offshoot of that, like, pay attention to me, I'm this persecuted minority, I've got all these problems, you don't understand them, all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I think it's probably a kind of mindset that always surfaces. It's always there in the background, but for a certain kind of person, it's always something that I suppose they will try to do. and they just need the opportunity to do it. Because I mean, look at Tumblr. It's Jesus. You know, it's exactly that. Just gone crazy.
Well, why would you want to look at Tumblr?
TJ loves it. TJ's always on Tumblr.
Well, there's a lot of porn on Tumblr.
He likes
too.
the porn aspect of Tumblr.
He also likes to argue with the feminists.
Sure.
too.
Shut up, feminist.
Yeah.
But you know, there's another. I forgot what I was going to say. Someone else take it.
Well, I thought we could get into.
Sure, go ahead. Let's
This
do
is
that.
this is an article from the website that Sargon sent me. This is
being called out for your sexism is not censorship.
So there's a PC movement against comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shock!
They don't like comedy. Jokes are offensive and triggering. You know.
That has to be censored. Although they don't want to call it censorship because censorship is bad.
And what they're doing is good, so obviously it's not censorship, you see?
Of course. No, that's exactly how it works. They don't want to think of it as censorship because, you know, then they'd have to understand that they're on the wrong side of the argument.
So you want me to read this?
Yeah, sure.
When I saw that the assistant editor of Spike magazine had written an article for Chortle, I almost exploded with raw sexual hunger. Barely able to contain my enthusiasm, I ran across the room, tripped over many volumes of Atlas Shrugged, and hit my head on the coffee table, sending me straight into a coma, a magical dream world where Operation U-Tree itself is considered worse than Savile's crimes. Global warming is a conspiracy of political double standards to raise taxes, and Spiked magazine produce one article that isn't a steaming pile of turgid pig shit. Wow, that's a long fucking paragraph.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce, a brilliant comedian who redefined the face of modern comedy and was arrested on trumped-up charges of obscenity in the same years as the Jim Crow laws were active in the U.S. and when homosexuality was still illegal in the United Kingdom. Though innuendo and through innuendo and extensive use of the word cocksucker, Lenny Bruce got himself blacklisted, even going so far as to be barred from entering England and all of its pubs. Bruce was an outspoken critic of both fascism and suppression of free speech, with the government actively attempting to curb his activities in the name of misguided public decency. Lenny Bruce is one of the most inspirational comics of the 20th century. Let's see. Dapper Laughs is a comedian who redefined the face of being a prick and was not arrested on charges, trumped up or otherwise, of obscenity or indeed anything. Through objectifying real women he met on the street for advertising revenue on social media platform Vine, Dapper Laughs cultivated an atmosphere of being a shit comedian who was misogynist and who tacitly reinforced rapists, even going so far as to voluntarily retire his character and bring it back again in the following months with no consequences.
I'm not familiar with Dapper Laughs. Is this
yeah, I can explain this. This guy, there's a certain kind of lad culture here that he parodies, and he's pretty funny. He's quite witty, but it's a lot of it is kind of a lot of them are rape jokes. But the thing is, they're very clearly jokes.
What type of culture do you mean more specifically?
Hang on, I'll get a video so you can check it out if you want. It's all very obviously comedy.
Jokes hurt, Sargon.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but he's obviously a comedian. It's obviously comedy.
Sargon, if a rapist hears a rape joke, they think that is an endorsement of their behavior.
Exactly. That is exactly the objection to Dapper Laughs. And the thing is, the guy's pretty funny, I guess, and that's why he's quite popular. And obviously, this drives the feminists fucking ballistic.
Let's see.
Orgasm Day today.
I'll have to film up.
Professional moisturizer. I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity for me to pass on some knowledge about the female orgasm to the lads. Pay attention.
Hey boys, would you meet me on the road tonight?
Yeah, I don't know about this music. Let's see.
I don't know about it either, Ben.
Now, the first thing you need to know, lads, is there's 3 different types of orgasm a woman can experience: clitoral, vaginal, and blended. Let's start with clitoral. A lot of women will tell you that clitoral stimulation is the easiest.
So he talks about vaginas and stuff, and that's why they're offended, or?
This is actually a wrong kind of video, I guess. This is actually kind of a factual one. I must have chosen the wrong one. The one video that he did that wasn't actually rape jokes.
This is like informational. It's educational almost. I don't know.
We're still offended. It's okay.
I'm offended.
But yeah, I mean,
But yeah, but basically they're all kind of like sexual jokes, and it's all
Hustle,
kind of
loyalty,
humor.
and misogyny.
You know, it's just bullshit. You know, that's the thing. It's all just, you know, there's nothing particularly serious about it, and you shouldn't take it seriously, because if you're getting offended by it, then you've kind of given them what they want. So yeah, and so they're using Dapper Laughs as like you heard about the thing with Roosh V, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar situation, although Dapper Laughs isn't Roosh V. For us. Yeah,
Roosh V made a video about how rape should be legal, so I'm guessing like Dapper Laughs doesn't agree with that part.
I doubt it. I mean, you know, if he were to say that, then it would be part of a sort of comedy sketch,
right?
Because the guy's a comedian, whereas Roosh is kind of slimy.
Roosh, for those of you wondering, I guess I covered it a little bit on a video I did a few days ago or the other day, but he was sitting at a pub or a bar in Montreal, and someone came up to him and was like, "Hey, are you Roosh V?"
They poured beer on him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Nah," and they spilled their beer on him, and then they chased him down the street back to his hotel and shit. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that really pisses me off, man. Not because I give a fuck about Roosh V, but it's turning him into some sort of martyr for the pickup artist community, and it's just like, what are you doing?
Right. All that's done is done is turn him into someone who can play the victim card himself. And if you go to his channel, that's pretty much what he's done since then.
Exactly. And if you look at his Twitter, it's all he's making this a free speech crusade to go and sort of just be sleazy to women. And it's like, oh fuck's sake, would you just leave him alone? You know, he's got 40 dudes there. You're never going to meet anyone who's met Roosh V. You know what I mean? He's such a fucking non-entity, but the feminists have made him a big deal. And it's just, it's fucking dumb.
Because of course they can turn, when they want to dismiss the arguments that people like you have made, they can turn and say, "Oh, well, this guy is just like Roosh V."
Exactly. I know
they're
that
cut from the same cloth.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah, it's bullshit. And have you ever seen anything of his? I watched a video of his the other day where he's describing how to pick up women in a bar, and he's like, "Yeah, what you want to do is when she's at the bar, like stand directly behind her so she can't get away." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great, Roosh. That's fucking brilliant."
Yeah, we've watched some of his videos here.
Ironically, we watched one of them before this whole thing occurred too.
Several actually.
Yeah, they're pretty strange.
Yeah, my favorite one was when he was talking about how people need to stop misconstruing his words, because when he said he wanted rape legalized on private property, it was because he wanted to reduce rape.
He wants the rate to plummet, TJ.
Because he says, girls won't be so, eager to go on private property and stuff,
Fucking moron.
It's going to cut down rape.
It's about human rights and the right to do what you want to do on your own property. Okay.
Goddamn. Those women just really need to understand that sometimes it's my property and they have to learn. In this video that I watched of his, he was saying about you got to hide behind, you have to hide in certain areas of the bar. And then, like, surprise women as they're fucking... as they come out or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Hide in a bar and try and pick up women, Roosh. These are your words, man. What are you fucking...
Pop out of the darkness like fucking Batman.
That's exactly it. Like,
I'm Batman. I'm Roosh.
But the thing is, then the feminists, they've got this hashtag. It's literally hashtag Roosh is a rapist. It's like, okay, is he actually a rapist or is he just really slimy? And the difference is he's not, as far as I can tell, actually a rapist. And so now you're lying and misrepresenting and slandering, and this gives him a way to, fight back against you and make you look even worse than he is. So
he's so slimy, and it's impressive that they were able to actually make themselves look worse to the point where we actually have to defend him.
You said the same thing about the Anita Sarkeesian incident, where all these people started going crazy about her. Oh, she deserves to be killed and all this stuff, and they just turn that around. Look at all these people. Yeah. She just wants to make a video game series, and look at the reaction. People are sending her death threats.
Right, and now you can't even take a picture if she's sitting behind you.
Sitting behind you, you're stalking her. Then
stalk her in public. Yeah, we want the crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
Do.
All right, so I think we can move on. Do you want to read this one?
I can't see the whole headline.
Okay, hold on.
It just says Trump performs abortions, which I don't think is the whole thing.
That would be interesting. Trump performs
Coulter,
abortions.
after immigration plan, I don't care if Trump performs abortions.
Yeah, so Ann Coulter's normally anti-abortion.
But she doesn't even care. If Trump just gets rid of those damn Mexicans, he can kill all the babies he wants.
He's going to build a wall, TJ. He solved the problem. He's going to build a wall.
I mean, can we call her a troll yet?
Yes.
Is
Yes,
she?
we can.
I mean,
I would say yes.
Yes.
Can we play the troll verdict, or does that not?
I don't have it queued up, but I can play it.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think of Donald Trump then? What do you think of the Great Wall of Trump to keep out the beaners?
I think it's an impossible undertaking.
One thing I can say for it is it would probably employ a lot of people.
There's a pretty big
Halliburton probably.
Yeah.
But there's a huge area between the Mexican and U.S. border.
We can make a deal that might
And there's-
satisfy the liberals and the conservatives.
There's already tunnels that go under it, totally undetected.
but
Here's what we
wall
do.
won't do
Automatic.
shit.
We need mines?
Hold on. I have a solution to this problem. Automatic amnesty for any illegal immigrant who helps build the wall.
And the one
Oh my god!
and the ones
Everyone
that
wins.
man the machine gun turrets every 5 feet just to kill the other Mexicans trying to get here.
Yeah, if you kill another Mexican trying to get into the country, you get automatic full citizenship.
Listen, you know that this kind of defeatist attitude is exactly why Trump's like, China keeps beating us at everything, right? They've got a giant wall and it keeps our Mongolians just fine. That's what he says.
Yeah, how many years has it been since the last Mongol invasion?
I'm pretty sure there's
Exactly.
Mongolians living in China. Pretty
But
sure.
they're legal aliens, man.
Yeah,
They're
they
legal.
let them in, Ben.
All right,
They
so
didn't get past the wall.
the verdict on Ann Coulter.
Clearly a troll.
I'll still read the article though.
Yeah, sure.
Donald Trump's immigration policy plan that dropped over the weekend has a huge fan. Ann Coulter, the conservative commentator, tweeted on Sunday, "I don't care if real Donald Trump wants to perform abortions in the White House after this immigration policy paper, along with a link to the real estate
Come on.
mogul's plan."
Yeah.
Scroll on
So
down.
what's his policy exactly? Is it just literally no? Just a giant billboard with "Get out."
Her comments were met with some
Yes.
criticism on social media from both the left and right. She also called it the greatest political document since the Magna Carta.
Oh wow.
She's not laying it on thick or anything. She even tweeted that Trump's plan shows that he's the only candidate who cares about black lives because his plan will increase black, Hispanic, female workers in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, he's not mentioning what kind of jobs they'll be working.
Exactly.
Scroll on down.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Probably
That's
employs
it.
millions of illegal immigrants.
Yeah, probably.
I love how this article doesn't even attempt to explain what his plan is.
Yeah, who cares what his plan is? His plan's
What did
crazy.
the important thing is, what did Ann Coulter think about it?
I mean, just like Mitt Romney, he probably employs private companies that employ private contractors that are illegals. Because
There's always a buffer with these guys. They would,
Right.
like some other company that they have an interest in employs the people. They have no tie to that company or minimal. So they always have a buffer. So if they're sued, it's like, oh, Donald Trump doesn't personally have liability or his company. This other his
I
shell
knew
company
nothing
does.
about it.
Of course, that's also it's plausible deniability. I didn't know the workers were mistreated.
I didn't know nothing.
I know nothing about none of that.
None of that.
All right. Here's
Is anyone
here's
else disturbed by Donald Trump's amazing popularity, though?
not. I mean, I'm disturbed, but I'm not surprised because of the reality TV era that we live in, and here he's a reality TV star.
I just love how the only way Donald Trump needs to, the only way that they're going to beat Donald Trump, I think, after watching the GOP debate, I think that what they need to do is get him to back down on something that he said. And instead, Donald Trump has just doubled down on everything. He's just been like, you know what, no, fuck it. No, we're going to build the wall 10 feet higher now. What's your problem? It's And that's just making him more popular. It's fucking bizarre.
Oh,
well, because the base that he's appealing to are the people who just love obstinance.
Right, don't be a flip-flopper. That's the worst thing you could be, is to admit you were wrong. They'll be like, oh, look, he was wrong about that. That means, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, but he's riding a total populist wave. He's like you said, every time they try to do some gotcha thing with him, he's like, yeah, deport them all. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, during the Fox News debate, you could see how shocked people were. It's like, this guy's really sticking with all this? Like, all right, I guess.
And everyone fucking loves it. Jesus. He's twice as popular as Jeb Bush in the debate, wasn't he? After the debate. So it's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, that last name Bush is not very well liked anymore.
Yeah, you've got a dynasty problem going on. It's the same with Hillary Clinton, really.
Yes. Absolutely. That's why, on both sides, if we had like a Clinton-Bush, election again, it would just be ridiculous.
Hillary's garbage.
Yeah. I would say that if it came down to something like Trump-Sanders, I would just admit that I don't even know what the fuck is going on in American politics anymore.
No. You're not going to have Sanders. You're not going to have Sanders. The black people on his side are going to prevent him from ever speaking again. It's fucking...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he can't take control of his own events kind of,
Yeah.
It's a disgrace, man. It's a fucking disgrace. This guy is an actual civil rights activist from the 60s and shit.
Yeah, shouldn't they be interrupting Trump's speeches?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. Trump's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to take any of that. So they're like, fuck it. Bernie Sanders is a nice guy. Let's go fuck up his event.
Trump,
he's your man.
Trump will just hang up some nooses behind him, like, yeah, try it.
Trump has like a private security.
You'll find out how much Black Lives Matter to Donald Trump.
If you made that statement, I guarantee you his popularity would continue to rise in the GOP.
It would.
I guarantee you.
Donald Trump wins in landslide. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't openly, but, who knows. Behind closed doors, who knows what Donald Trump says. We thought Hulk Hogan was a nice guy, too,
Honestly, man, I think Donald Trump probably says exactly the same sort of stuff as he says on a public stage.
Let me tell you something, TJ. You're a loser. He always calls everyone a loser, like it's the worst.
You're a loser.
You're a loser.
You're a loser. I'm a winner.
All right, here's a video, and it asks the question, is drunk sex rape?
Yes. Always.
Greetings,
he's
YouTube.
drunk making this video.
So, currently
I'd
like to go ahead and discuss something that's been a little controversial as of late.
Is it?
This topic.
I'm not sure who this is, but we got it sent to us. And he has an interesting take on it.
It's one of the social justice community on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I recognize the face. I can't remember who it is, though.
It's a rather toxic one. Regardless of your opinion on the topic, you're going to have a bunch of people on either side. One side either going, oh my gosh, you're coddling everyone, this is bullshit. Or you're going to have the other side going, oh my god, you're a rape apologist, this is bullshit. Something along those lines. And
they both go, ah!
Yeah.
Like, ah!
They turn into the Incredible Hulk.
No matter which side they're on. That Hulk transformation always happens.
You won't like me when I'm angry.
No winning when it comes to people, but that's what a controversial topic is all about. So, when we talk about the issue at hand, that issue being whether or not drunk sex can sufficiently be called rape, oh yes, we're going there today. The general argument against this proposition, as I've experienced, tends to come in a few different ways. The first argument is, well, you can't take away someone's responsibility because they're intoxicated. We don't do that when they go drunk driving, do we? We don't do that when they go kill someone while drunk, do we? We don't say, people can't say, whoops, I just murdered someone, but it's not my fault, I'm drunk.
Okay, argument over. Thanks very much, mate.
I mean that would be my argument. So I'm really interested in hearing what his rebuttal to that is, because to me that seems like a pretty airtight way of looking at it. Being drunk does not. Yeah, being drunk or intoxicated on any substance does not remove your culpability or give you a free pass to break laws or so.
It's like, shit, man, I stole your car stereo when I was high on crack, but it's okay, I was high on crack, so we're cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, that we don't make those sorts of exceptions for people. I mean, maybe in our personal lives, if someone, I said those hurtful things while I was drunk, we'll forgive them or some shit. But it's a different matter.
Not on a legal basis.
But not on a legal basis,
No,
right?
Why would you?
So let's see.
To me, this particular counterpoint seems to very much miss the point. The point is not that we give people a free pass from responsibility while impaired. It's that we don't accept that they're allowed to do anything while impaired that requires rational judgment. It's not that we take away responsibility from a drunk person. It's that we tell them that they're in a position where they're incapable of making a rational decision. This, of course, doesn't mean that we won't punish them. It just means that we would prefer they never pick up a weapon while impaired.
So what do you think of that?
Hang on. He's saying that we... Can you play it again quickly? Because I'm not sure that this is necessarily something that follows. This seems to be rather a non sequitur. It's not the same thing as, say, can you make a rational decision, as it is to say you are physically impaired from driving.
Well, here's how I understand it. I think the point he's making is like, okay, if you commit a crime while drunk, you're not responsible. I mean, you are responsible for that crime. But we wouldn't let a drunk person, I don't know, go hang gliding or something, and we should treat sex the same way.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, sex isn't necessarily a rational decision, is it?
It's a biological decision.
I mean, I don't understand. The thing is, it's like...
in some ways.
There's nothing that's physically dangerous about sex. Like, most of the things we would stop a drunk person from doing are things where they are going to, like, harm themselves. Like, don't drive a car because you'll probably crash and die. Don't operate heavy machinery because of the same reason.
Well, and then
no, I mean
also,
that you'll hurt someone else. That's
right.
So there's more nuance to it too. There's can be people who are drunk that can probably consent. Like, yeah, I do want to have sex, and there's probably people who are so drunk they can't. I mean, there's a gradient. And
if someone's passed out, I mean, you know.
Exactly. Someone's passed out drunk, they obviously cannot. There's
passed out. Yes, I mean it's difficult to measure. It's for each individual how drunk someone has to be for it to not be consensual.
That's why there has to really be a gradient. You can't just be something. Oh, you did this, or it's this or that.
But how do you legislate something that would even account for that sort of distinction?
That then speaks to a whole wider range of issues. I mean, if I'm drunk and I agree to a mobile phone contract, am I incapable of agreeing to a mobile phone contract? Because, I couldn't make a rational decision. And now
call back Verizon the next day, like, hey, Verizon, I was wasted, all right?
And
that did not count.
Sold me. You should have found out how intoxicated I was, and now you're in trouble. It's a ridiculous rationale, and it could never really be workable in the real world.
But I mean, like, you would say that if someone is, like, drunk to the point where they literally can't even say yes or no, like they're
totally delusional,
like passed out or just completely like out of it, and someone just fucks them.
I mean, sure. Then there's no way you could have actually gotten consent.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So I just want to put that out there, just in case any people who are trying to go against what we're saying here to try to mischaracterize it as that.
Absolutely.
No one here agrees with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to listen to more, I guess.
Punish them for doing so.
A little bit more.
This is also why we don't let them get behind the wheel of a car. We'll punish them for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
The point of the idea that sex with a drunk person is rape is that an impaired person cannot reasonably give consent to their predicament.
I disagree. I absolutely disagree. Being drunk doesn't make you retarded. For the love of God, I mean, that's literally the stupidest thing, and again, that literally takes away any responsibility to anyone who's had a couple of beers. Bullshit! Can't they consent? Of course they can. If I'm drunk, I know I shouldn't be having sex with a fat chick. I know that this giant land whale at the end of it. I know that in a bar she's coming up to me, and I knew at the beginning of the night when I wasn't drunk, I was like, no. And I know now that she's looking so much better, and I'm knowing, beer goggles. But how much do I actually care at the moment? That's the question. And lo and behold, I don't really care that much. And so there we go. And then I wake up the next morning and go, hey, I was raped.
Yeah, you were raped because you made a bad decision while drunk.
I was gonna say she's not
slept with someone you didn't really want to.
She's not a whale. She's like Jaws. She's waiting for you the whole night, dude.
Wait
for the moment to strike.
She probably roofied that drink.
Yeah, I roll over and it's Roosh V there, and it's
like, damn, you're good, dude.
He's a pickup artist, you know.
I mean, it was a bad decision on my part, but it wasn't rape.
Yeah.
Roosh V.
It was Roosh V all along.
I'm not saying that drunk people are free from responsibility. On the contrary, we give them more responsibility because they're not even allowed to engage in any sort of actual activities once they hit the point of 0.08 blood alcohol.
Mr. President, quick! Mr. President, quick! We need the nuclear launch codes, but first, drink this Johnny Walker Black. This is too much responsibility for a sober man.
Hey, they often do show the president drinking in movies. There's probably something to that.
We're going to DEFCON 5.
That's when he opens up the globe and pours like the whiskey, straight whiskey.
And then he takes a sip. He's like, God help us all.
Or we sometimes punish them more harshly because of their state of mind, because they're literally engaging in irresponsible behavior.
Irresponsible. Yes, irresponsible.
Keep your ears clean, kids. Always scrub behind them. It's irresponsible.
Saying someone cannot give reasonable consent is simply not the same as saying that someone doesn't have any responsibility. Children, and by children I usually mean preteens to early teenagers, those kinds of people, because I don't usually hear about this happening
those human
too much
beings.
younger than that. But children
those
of that
types of
age
humans that exist
can
in this
usually
world.
be convicted for murder that I know of. They still can't legally give consent to sex. Clearly, the capability of giving consent.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's right, but that's beside the point.
Why?
Because we're not talking about children. We're talking about adults who have had a few beers and know what they're doing, just have less inhibitions and give consent to it, even though they know they're going to regret it.
Fair enough.
Consent is not equivalent of taking away all responsibility. The second argument that you'll sometimes hear is that from the anti-drunk sexist rape people is something along the lines of, you can't be so drunk that you do something you otherwise wouldn't do. Well, that's simply factually inaccurate. What? I mean, medically speaking, it is.
No, he's right. He's right. I mean, their argument is you can't be so drunk you do something you wouldn't normally do. It's
that's not true at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what being drunk is like. So he's not on their side there, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's possible for that to happen. It is, and it indeed does happen. It does. When we're drunk, our inhibitions are lowered, so something that would filter through our minds is perhaps a bad idea wouldn't seem like such a bad idea while drunk. That's a fact. One might say, well, I've never been too drunk to give consent. Well, fine. But we can't make laws nor make a presumption of someone's cognitive awareness based off of exceptions to the medical majority.
I would think, though, that when people get drunk and do stupid shit, it's because part of them does want to do that.
Not always.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never felt like I was possessed by a will to do something that had never even occurred to me sober. But
yeah, I get the feeling that a lot of people do drink specifically to remove themselves of the responsibility of what they've done because they wanted to do it.
Yeah, I thought that's what drinking was for.
I generally think that's
so
pretty much
they
true.
Can say, "Oh, I was drunk."
Oh, you hear that all the time. Oh, we had some crazy party.
I know I skinned your cat, baby, but I was drunk.
Sometimes when people are drunk enough to do
psychopath.
things that are out of character for them.
Sure. I think we've all seen that, had examples of that.
Right.
Out of character, but not necessarily, I would think, out of the range of what desires might exist within them,
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't normally sleep with Roosh, but
yeah, get a few drinks and you're like, well,
drink the fucking fifth of vodka. Roosh starts looking pretty sexy.
It's not just a bad-looking guy. It's more personality problems. But when I don't have to care about his personality problems, then
Sure.
It's like,
I don't know though.
Fuck me like one of your whores, Roosh.
Gotta be pretty drunk to be honest.
Make me feel like a piece of trash.
Got to be pretty drunk to be on Steven Crowder, though, Sargon.
I had a nice conversation with him.
He's evil, though. you really need to realize that he is pure evil.
The thing is, I got the same shit from him when I was talking after I was on you. So what can I do? Who do I side with?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, at least you're neutral.
Yeah, you don't have to side with anybody, but you should check him out. He's evil.
I did see your videos about him, and you know, hey, I'm not defending anything that he's done in the past. It's nothing to do with me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you have to defend your associations. I guess my colleague
not
Ben
at all.
does feel.
No. It was a joke. Ben,
of course, has attacked every guest on the show.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's getting crowded in this drunken pussy.
I've got to say though, one of the things I did like about the conversation with him is it's nice to talk to someone from like the opposing side of the aisle who wasn't just an irrational dick. You know, he wasn't a complete twat, and that's I think more people should be like that.
I disagree.
To you, but when he goes to like union rallies and picks fights with like over the hill men.
Well, the thing that bothers me though is so many times we had the opportunity to have a debate, he and I, and he would literally not acknowledge it. Every time, but then I heard from someone else that was working at the same network and was actually both of our representatives that he was talking all this shit about how he was going to sue me for defamation and I was going to pay and all this other shit, and he would whoop my ass in a UFC fight and just all this ridiculous nonsense.
Oh, that totally means you're right. You win in a UFC fight, man.
Well, I mean, like the thing was, it's like if you can totally wipe the floor with me, let's fucking go. Let's entertain the people. Isn't that what we're both here for? And I just thought that, he'd be eager to do that, but apparently not.
Oh, not at all. He hates your guts.
But he hates my guts. He hates me so much that he can't even talk to me.
And, yeah, basically.
I get the feeling that Crowder probably, he's quite a young guy, isn't he? He's still only like 27, something like that. And, if it's something that happened a few years ago, if I were him, I'd be like, yeah, to be honest, like, I was young, I was being a dick,
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be such a dick. That's all. I just show it off like, yeah. Well, young men do stupid stuff.
He was on Fox News. He was on Fox News because of that, and Sean Hannity defended him. But the funniest thing about that was that, he was on there like being like, I don't know why they tried to fight me, Sean. And the funny thing is that the video they ended up showing is what outed him to everybody.
Yeah, and another thing is the reason that his lawsuit against me could not proceed forward is because he actually had a major court loss shortly thereafter where a judge basically ruled that his version of events was horse shit.
Well, right. He started the fight with that little guy. It was some little old man.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on. We don't have to talk about Crowder anymore.
Don't want to make our guest uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. I'm not responsible for him.
Fidgeting in your chair, sweating like a piece of shit.
Has nothing to do with him.
All right.
Just because we're getting married next week, it's nothing to do with him.
Well, it is legal now, so
enjoy.
I just hope he doesn't find out about my tryst with Rouge.
Who's the top and who's the bottom?
Well, obviously I'm the top.
Okay.
Wow. There's
this just in: Sargon of Akkad fucks Steven Crowder in the ass.
There's a lot of Drunken Peasants.
Put that in the trivia
gay
section
fan
of the DP
fiction
Wiki.
between me and TJ.
And I've written some of it.
No, have you really?
No, I haven't.
No,
Okay.
he's too lazy.
Jesus Christ.
I'm the top in almost all of
That's
those.
funny, Ben. You actually kind of like, really?
I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what, huh? It's funny you were willing to entertain that.
I was about to
reality.
I was about to like move over. I don't know.
Ben's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm taking Scotty's seat from now on.
I've never
a
even
couch.
seen it, but I've heard about it from Ben.
Let's get a love seat for you guys.
I think Sargon, the people who write this shit need to put Sargon in the next one.
I can't believe I'm not. I'm actually genuinely disappointed.
Yeah,
I've
there's
been told the
three.
correct term is a power top. So
Yeah, so you guys need to decide: does Ben top Sargon, or does Sargon top Ben?
It's gonna try to break up your guys' thing. It's gonna be a menage a trois. It's gonna be
Or
like
they're both just gonna double stuff me or something. I don't know.
Spit roast the fuck out of him.
Well, that could be the ending, but at first you guys can get kind of like at each other's throats. Who will get TJ or who will get Ben?
Aren't we the classiest show you appear on, Sargon?
You're about on my level actually, so
yeah,
it's fine. This is generally the sort of conversation I have with my mates, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's more like what we do here.
Since the last time you've been on, your channel has blown up.
Yeah, I'm getting jealous.
I don't even know why. I don't know. People say this to me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know where everyone comes from. I don't know how they find me, and I don't know, man.
Yeah,
you just have your name just gets out there. People remember you. You're one of the most frequently requested guests.
Actually, the highest view count we've ever had on any individual episode was from the show that you were on. So,
really?
Yes.
Yep. You're the star.
I think it's like 189,000 views or something.
Yeah, which is a lot for our channel.
Yeah, a lot, definitely, for sure.
I put it down to the Britishness. Basically,
yeah,
you guys
everything
want
sounds
to
more
be,
official.
Dominated by the British.
Also, since the last time you've been on, we've all been to the UK.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Or did you pay homage to the Queen like everyone in Britain does?
No, well, we went out front of Buckingham Palace, and TJ was like, "I don't give a fuck who lives here."
He's like, I'll give the Queen 10 cents or 10 pence or whatever.
Yeah, I was talking a lot of shit about the Queen in front of the palace.
That's when me and Ben started slowly going away from TJ.
Yeah, I know. They were telling me not to, and I kept doing it anyway, because fuck them. And also...
Yeah, you won't feel that way soon.
Also, though, I was just saying, like, I think Buckingham Palace should be my house, and that bitch needs to move. Yep.
Well, hey, I think you guys should fight it out, Stephen Crowder style.
Wow.
Me and the Queen
in the octagon.
I don't stand a chance in a fair fight against the Queen. That bitch is pretty old and vigorous.
Yeah.
She lived through World War II. I mean, I don't think she's going to be bothered by you.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of weird how during World War II she had cousins that were like on the other side. It's interesting.
Oh, of course she would have done. Yeah, absolutely.
History.
But do you know anything about Prince Philip, her husband?
Well, he's German, right?
Got a feeling you're going to tell us.
No, he's. I think he's Greek actually.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
The thing is, he's got this habit of like saying things that are worse than the sort of things that come out of Donald Trump's mouth. Like he went to Africa a few years ago, and he was like, "So you fellows still chucking spears at each other then?" and things like this. And he's got his own cargo cult in in Polynesia, where he's actually like the deity of a cult.
And he has a YouTube channel called Atheism is Unstoppable 4.
Yeah, okay. Tell me about
Oh
what's going on
God!
there.
Oh God!
People saying, "Oh my God, have you seen that the Amazing Atheist and Atheism is Unstoppable having like some sort of fight?" And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
so
why would you?
You may as well tell me. Go on, give me your side of it.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's pretty stupid, but I mean, basically, he just said in a video that black people need to stop bitching and stop committing so many crimes, and I was just like, well, what do you mean? Like if they don't want to be harassed by police, they don't commit so many crimes. I'm just like, well, what about the black people who haven't committed any crimes who are being harassed by the police because of other people who did?
Yeah, they shouldn't commit crimes, TJ.
Right, I mean, it's so generalized, and then he's like, but then, you try to have a discussion with him about any other aspect of like, well, why does this happen? Why is the black community plagued by so much more crime? But he's not interested in any of the underlying causes. It's just like, oh, they're black, so more crime happens because they're black, and it's like, but it's not racist. So I'm like, how is it not racist?
This is an argument I've had like with there was this guy called Libertarian Realist, I think it is, and he was basically like he did.
That sounds so promising.
Going, you know it's because they're black or something like that, and I was just like, man, look, right, that's really not fucking fair, is it? You wouldn't want people saying it's because you're an Australian or whatever, wherever you come from.
Right.
It's bullshit. It's there are so many other social issues that the black communities are having. Poverty, fucking. Fatherlessness and all this sort of stuff. There are loads of cultural issues that weren't present like 20 or 30 years ago. So,
But yeah, I mean, like if you try to bring any of that up to him, he just says,
White guilt.
boo-hoo, you
White
got
guilt.
white guilt.
Yep, don't lie.
It's like, I mean, I understand. I mean, like certain people do have white guilt. There's certainly these like touchy-feely,
Would you ever admit?
crybaby liberals.
Would you ever admit to having experienced it yourself?
What, white guilt?
Yes.
You know, one time I did.
Okay.
I did have one time where I felt white guilt. I was watching Django Unchained. And it was like in one of those movie theaters where people like come and like give you like snacks and shit. You don't have to go to the concession stand.
Oh my god!
And it was like a black guy that kept coming, and I'm like sitting there watching these black people on screen getting whipped, serving white people, and he's like, "Here you go, sir. Have some Skittles." I'm like, "Ha ha ha."
Were you like, "Thanks, boy"?
Here's a shiny new hay penny.
Keep my drink full, boy.
Go get yourself
Oh
a
my
cotton
God.
candy, boy.
We drinking mint jubilees.
You know, I never would. I've never enslaved anyone. I've never done any of these things. Why should I feel guilty?
Yeah, I agree with you. But the DP Wiki, not the DP Wiki, the DP subreddit, someone on there discovered that my great-great-grandfather
was a slave
owner. And, you know, I didn't really, I'm like, well, I didn't have anything to do with that. It's not, I don't believe in, like, the sins of the father visited upon
I'm
the
really
son.
sorry for what my great-great-grandfather did 150 years before I was born. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's so, I mean, I'm really apologized
I'm
for
not
his
surprised
actions, you know?
because part of your family comes from the South.
Sure.
And they've probably been there for over 100 years.
But, you know, another part of my family was fighting for the North in the Civil War.
Sure.
So, I mean, you know, whatever.
And that
So
was common.
You've gone out, is what you're saying.
Yes. I take after him, you know?
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. I can't stand it. It's like Ben Affleck and, you know, oh my god, Ben Affleck's like great-great-great-grandfather owned slaves. It's like, so what? You know, and you can tell Ben Affleck feels fucking
he deserved that shit after his pitiful appearance on Real
Maybe
Time.
he does have white guilt. Maybe he knew that.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is definitely a case of a person who genuinely does have white guilt, and it should be ascribed to him. Because he was ashamed that his ancestor even did that to the point where he tried to, like, bury it.
Yeah,
like, don't even mention that.
Yeah, I feel so fucking sorry for him, though. Imagine thinking, oh my god, you know, someone hundreds of years before I was born did something that I now have to pay penance for. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? I can't think of anything more shitty to do to a person. You know, it's just.
Well, it's just like in the Bible how they say the sins of the son,
Yes,
the father will be visited upon the son for 7 generations.
Yeah, 7 generations.
Exactly, it's really just a primitive way of thinking where, like, oh, everything your lineage did, you're culpable for.
You're bad people.
Because you're benefiting from what they did in some ultimate sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit, man. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it.
Me neither.
All right, so I think we're going to move on. This is actually an issue that we're taking a poll on. There's a link down below. There's also more information on the subject that we're going to be polling. Don't vote until after we're talking about it unless you think you already know everything about it.
You don't, because you're stupid.
Yeah, I found a lot of people think they know what's going on with this issue and they don't.
You find that with every issue.
Yeah, you'll find that with every issue.
Yeah, so, and I actually told Sargon about this before he came on, that they're voting this November to legalize both medicinal and recreational marijuana where we live.
And paraphernalia.
And paraphernalia. And home growth up to 4 plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we're going to watch some videos both about the issue and about the opposition to the issue. And we'll talk about it, and we'll see how everyone feels about it at the end here.
Yep.
In 83 days, Ohio voters could make history. That is when you'll decide if marijuana should be legal. The Secretary of State says Responsible Ohio has collected enough signatures to get it on the ballot. But it's really just the beginning. Local 12's Brad Underwood joins us now with the showdown that's still to come. Brad?
Well, good evening, Kimmy. That campaign going to heat up over the next few months. Supporters praise marijuana's medical benefits and claim it would put pot dealers out of business. Opponents argue it's a scheduled drug and still criminalized at the federal level. But now it's up to you.
Who cares?
But be careful at the polls. There's also a measure
that's the
that could...
dumbest counter-argument in the world. Yeah, we know it's still criminalized. That's actually the point. That's entirely the point. We're trying to get it decriminalized. Yeah, but
it's illegal.
You fucking morons. Sorry, go on.
Stomp out legal weed. It's now up to you on Election Day, November 3rd, 2015. The use of pot is officially on the ballot.
And we found that people are excited about the idea of marijuana legalization in Ohio, the job opportunities it can bring, the compassionate care it can offer for sick Ohioans, and the tax revenue that can come back to our communities.
If passed, Faith Oltman of Responsible Ohio says legalizing marijuana could generate more than $550 million for Ohio. And 10 counties will grow it in
How much of that do I
quantities,
get, though? That's the real question.
So 10 counties will grow it for commercial production. And in all honesty, the most vocal opposition to this amendment to the Constitution of our state, which will change the law and decriminalize and make everything legal, the most vocal opposition are pro-legalization people who don't like the fact that
10 groups, basically 10 land parcels are going to be used to grow the weed on.
Each owned by
venture capitalists.
Yes, who are supporting the amendment.
Who basically, they actually engineered the amendment.
Yeah, they put about $20 million to get the signatures needed to go on the ballot, obviously, and to promote the measure, or the ballot initiative.
Now,
Are they opposing them purely on the basis that they are venture capitalists?
No, they're opposing them on the basis that there's only going to be 10 parcels.
They're calling it a monopoly, which
Yeah.
I don't believe it is.
Well, I would say it probably, maybe not a monopoly, but it's definitely not far off.
It's basically a cartel kind of situation
where
you have a certain group of people who are allowed to grow it, and it's written into the law on these
Now,
parcels of land.
There's another amendment, Amendment 2, which, if passed, would block the legalization amendment, even if it's passed.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty strange.
It's because it's putting in a stipulation against any monopoly that would sell drugs of any sort, whether they be legal or not. So, let's see. I'll play a little bit more
Claremont, Hamilton, and Butler counties.
In other states like Colorado that have unlimited licensure, we've found that it's easier for their marijuana to be tainted with things like pesticides and insecticides.
But not everyone wants legal weed. Mary Haig is the president of Prevention First, a regional coalition working in substance abuse prevention.
Some people are downers. Jesus
Right,
Christ.
right. This, you know, she's part, like, these people combined with the pro-legalization people that are afraid of the so-called monopoly are the reasons why this probably won't pass.
So our
Look at her
concern is,
face. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Debbie
God,
Downer.
all right, Mum, come on. Seriously, Mum, it's all right.
Think of the children.
is then that would therefore, with the legalization or the commercialization of marijuana in Ohio, that would increase access for kids. It's already decreasing and therefore.
We all knew we were going to hear the think of the children argument.
I'll tell you what. When I was in high school, you know, alcohol was legal, and it was so easy for us to get all the time. So
Same here.
we never bothered smoking weed.
Yeah,
which is the opposite.
Mary, they're already smoking weed. You know? They've got it already, Mary. You're too late. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, it was impossible to find weed anywhere.
Or any drugs, impossible.
Yeah, you know, drugs were just virtually non-existent.
Drugs? What, you mean Tylenol?
So let's watch a video from the opposition, the Say No. The amendment's called Responsible Ohio, and Ohio has about 12 million people living here, just in our state. It's a very condensed area with many medium to larger sized cities all together. And here are the people that, and the only reason I mention that is because Washington and Colorado and the other places that have legalized it already have a much smaller population.
Yeah.
And we're known for having a political divide in this state. We basically choose the president each time that we have a presidential election here.
We're the main swing state, bitch.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Responsible Ohio is a ballot initiative in Ohio to legalize marijuana. But before I begin, I should say that I am for the legalization of marijuana for both medicinal and recreational uses. And that's because it's taking the power from the gangs and cartels who use violence to solve disputes.
My reason is just because I want to smoke weed and I want to be able to just go to a store and buy it. I don't give a fuck about any of the other shit. I hope it's all true, sure. It's like, I would like to state, first of all, that I am in favor of legalizing marijuana.
Legalize it all.
I want to legalize it to stop the cartels.
About the advocation of its use. It's about ending, or at least reducing, the violence and the homicides that are associated with the black
play
market.
some music behind them. That'll make them sound better. Say no to Responsible Ohio.
But the ballot initiative known as Responsible Ohio.
Wow, he's really the only one that's going to talk? I thought this was going to be one of those videos where they, bounce from person to person.
He's the only one they could find that agree with him. He's like, I agree with me. Who else?
Did this guy just make this video in his garage? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but,
Ohio is not the way to legalize marijuana. And I contend that legalization under Responsible Ohio will not solve the black market problems, but instead empower them. And this is how.
Okay.
Responsible Ohio raised over $36 million from 10 different investment groups. Now, remember that phrase, 10 different investment groups.
Okay, I'll
Under
try.
Responsible Ohio, only 10 cultivation and extraction facilities can exist.
Okay.
And of course, these facilities are owned and operated by the same.
They're going to claim that they're all the same company, but they are different companies with an affiliation. And in all honesty, I do think that this is bullshit, that this is happening, but at the same time, the thing that really swings me on the side of voting for the legalization is that they're still going to let people grow up to 4 plants at home. So if you don't like the product, you can grow at home, and that'll force the product to be better.
Plus, just talking about the penalties that people, they have a little bit of weed face, and it's like. That's what I was kind of told you. I was like, I don't really know about this.
Right.
I'm kind of leaning almost towards no.
Scotty and I disagreed about this, and then we talked about it, and he kind of decided that he agrees with me, at least in some part.
Another thing, though, is too, even though the growers are going to be limited to these 10 companies and 10 parcels of land, they're going to issue, I think, up to 1,100 licenses for people to sell. So, it's not like there's going to be any shortage of stores
making a profit.
Or any shortage of competition on that level.
And this is the beginning. There's nothing to say that it can't expand if the business is profitable later, is it?
Right. And, well, there is an argument to be made that an amendment is difficult to change, but it can be changed.
I would think that perhaps this provision of the amendment will be eventually ruled unconstitutional on some basis, but I'm not sure.
And this would go into effect this coming January. So, between the people that are against this, that are pro-legalization, want to wait an unspecific amount of time between now and then for medical patients to not get the medicine that they could otherwise have.
Yeah.
And they want to wait for maybe even people they know to be put through the criminal justice system.
Yeah, but let's admit that it's pretty fucked up that these 10 companies have put us in this position of making this deal with them.
I agree, but there's so much suffering that could happen between now and then. It's just better to have something that people can get their hands on, in the meantime, and not face prosecution.
Here's one that's not even that bad, but it's a kicker for me. In Ohio, any drug conviction, including paraphernalia, which could be a pipe, papers, even a plastic bag that they could say was that you had marijuana in, may result in a driver's license suspension from a period of 6 months to 5 years. And in Ohio, you're not getting around by public transportation. You must have a car to get to work.
One thing that this ballot initiative would not change, though, is, and I'm pretty sure this would stand, in Colorado, they actually went through the court system, and someone was fired for smoking weed. They said, well, it's legal in Colorado, but it's still illegal. The Colorado Supreme Court ruled under federal law, so therefore you can still be discriminated and fired if you smoke marijuana.
Yeah, and we're going to have to take steps towards that, but that none of these reasons are a reason to not approve this law.
No. But I'm just saying,
it strikes me as a lesser of two evils. I'm not thrilled about it being a cartel, effectively, of marijuana-growing companies, but like you say, it's about decriminalizing it in essence, anyway. Just to make sure that people aren't being unfairly punished for just smoking weed.
Right.
And people can grow it personally, and let's be honest with you, okay, so someone's drilling what 10 plants instead of 4. Is anyone going to care? Is anyone going to give a shit?
I don't think
probably not.
I don't think there's going to be regular inspections or anything like that. It's just, I mean, if word got around that you were selling it, then there'd be a problem. But I think otherwise, if you keep it within your own home, I think for the most part they'd look the other way.
Yes,
on that.
I don't think it's worth anyone's time.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I can't understand the people that are against it. But there's a lot of them. At least they're very vocal.
Some people are very much like purists when it comes to that kind of thing. Like
Capitalism.
They want it to be perfect, but
Right.
a lot of times we have to make compromises and accept kind of like a little bit of shit.
Right now on the poll, we have 40% saying that they don't even care who makes the money. They just want the prohibition to end. And then we have 33% saying they don't agree with all of it, but progress is good. And so that's 40 and 33%.
Yeah.
And then
so the overwhelming majority are in favor of getting rid of prohibition.
Yeah, too bad they don't all leave. Too bad they don't all live here, because it'll. I mean, if you look at the people that are just against it altogether, and then you combine them with the pro-legalization people that are just against this amendment, they could make up the majority against everyone else.
Well, I think with one good thing about having these companies that want desperately to have this monopoly is that I'm sure that they're going to spend a lot of money trying to pass this legislation.
Sure.
I'll tell you what, if I lived here and I sold weed for a living, I wouldn't want it to pass.
No. Why would you?
No, you would not.
No.
You would be voting against your own economic self-interest at that point.
So weird.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could probably move on.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep the poll open for about 48 hours. We'll see how everyone votes on it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some people who want to do more of their own research.
Yeah, feel free to read it. There's all the information on it out there.
You can go read the bill itself if you want.
Yep. All right, so we'll move on here.
It is good that these things are being discussed, though. I mean, 30 years ago, when I was a kid, these things would never have been discussed.
Right, and I never thought that would happen in this state because we don't even have medical here, and there's a lot of divide between liberal and conservative here.
But I mean, this should be an issue that liberals and conservatives should be able to come together on, in my opinion. I mean, when you talk about smaller government, I mean, reducing the amount of law enforcement needed to enforce these draconian edicts and stuff like that.
That's the real monopoly that I'm afraid of. The government profiting off of incarceration for such a harmless substance.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely the more threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the fines people pay, and the court system is so expensive. If you have any sort of thing like, oh, you were driving stoned, which I mean you shouldn't do, but then they just destroy someone's life over, and they paid upwards of $10,000 in legal representation and fees and fines and probation and drug tests and everything else. It is a racket.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Did you know that Morgan Freeman's step granddaughter, but I guess they had like the relationship. As grandfather and granddaughter, she was stabbed to death by a boyfriend that was trying to perform an exorcism on her.
An exorcism?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter, Adina Hines, was found stabbed to death Sunday morning in New York City. The 33-year-old's boyfriend has been charged with the murder allegedly while trying to perform an exorcism on the street at 3 a.m.
I go to the window and I see him on top of a woman, and I couldn't really see what was going on. But then the police came, like 2 police cars came and arrested the guy.
I often hear people say,
calls Hines a star.
I often hear people say, don't stick your dick in crazy, but also don't let crazy stick its dick in you either.
Exactly.
Because this is like, there's no way there were not warning signs that this guy was a fucking loose cannon. Maybe she was crazy too, I don't know. But, this reminds me a lot of this story that I've recounted a few times about Bobby Jindal. the governor of Louisiana and a frequent presidential candidate. Maybe he is again this time. I don't know if he is.
He
or
sucks.
Not. He's garbage. But he performed an exorcism in college that he was like he would brag about, and I read the account, and I mean it's horrible. Basically, they lure this girl up to this room. And they pin her on the ground.
Sounds like rape so far.
Right.
Yeah.
And they start
It really does.
They start like chanting over her and throwing holy water on her and all kinds of crazy shit.
If they would have been masturbating, it would have been considered rape.
Well, I mean, they should have been considered false imprisonment.
Yeah,
or something.
sure.
Kidnapping, charge them with some kind of fucking crime. But this is the crazy thing. This is a story this guy goes around bragging about. Like, yeah, I performed this exorcism, and we saved this girl's soul.
As someone like not in the US, that sounds ridiculous.
I know.
I can't even imagine. And this guy's a politician, is he?
Yeah, he's the governor of Louisiana.
Yeah, and here's the thing about him. This is a highly Republican state.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And he's managed to charm the people there that are mostly racist. Or, well, probably not mostly.
There's a lot of
them. A lot of them. There's
a lot of racism.
A lot of it, more than you'd expect.
And he's Indian.
And he's Indian.
Descent. Yeah, Indian descent. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I remember when he was running originally for, I think
Congress.
Congress. I remember hearing a lot of people talk about I ain't voting for no sand nigger and all this shit. And so there was a lot of like extremely
and
racist
that's not
talk.
even the correct term.
No, he's actually
he's Indian.
And then they heard him speak and
as
espouse all those values. Like, well, I guess we need a pet one.
They can't even tell Arabs and Indians apart.
I heard, but now what I'll actually hear when I'm down there from rednecks is I'll hear, well, he's an honorary white man.
Yeah, he's honorarily white.
Jesus Christ.
That's kind of like how the Japanese were honorary Aryans during World War II.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like we rescind our racism in this particular case, and this particular case alone.
That will shine bright in our hearts, thoughts, and prayers.
Okay, what's with all the still
Ooh,
shots?
Look at the NYPD.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand. It's
a hybrid.
Are we trying to establish something
It's
here?
a hybrid, TJ. They want to show how New York City is doing all it can
Sweet.
to prevent
Good on
change.
you, New York. All right. Okay. Let's just keep holding on this shit.
Whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Sargon, I wanted to get your opinion on something totally weird that you probably wouldn't even talk about otherwise. Do you know who Mr. Repzion is?
I do know who Mr. Repzion is.
Okay. And do you know who Vegan Gains is?
No.
Okay. Vegan Gains is this Canadian bodybuilder vegan guy that fat shames all sorts of people, including TJ and well, not Mr. Repzion.
He really hates Mr. Repzion, though.
He really hates him. And the thing is that Vegan Gains is so militantly vegan that he filmed his own grandfather dying on the ground in front of him of a heart attack, and was going to post it on YouTube
as an example of what happens if you eat like a traditional Western
exactly
diet.
And his parents or his mother or someone in his family said,
please
don't do it. So he made a video about how he was mad that his parents wouldn't let him do it. And in that thumbnail for the video is like a distorted picture of his grandfather dying on the ground. It's
fucked up shit.
So here's a video of Vegan Gains saying something about Mr. Repzion during a live game stream. I'm assuming Twitch or something like that. But listen to what he says.
It's pretty interesting.
Before we go, I quite like Mr. Repzion because you can tell that like he's matured over the years.
Yes,
and he could have become like a Tumblrite or a male feminist or something, and instead he's gone down the path of like rationality. I'm glad to see that.
Originally, he was homeschooled by his fundamentalist Christian parents.
Yeah, and he credits me, by the way, for freeing him. Or partially.
Oh, of course. Worship TJ.
Everybody like me, Dad.
I just improve people's lives. Whoever's life I touch just gets better.
There can be an argument made to the
everyone's like,
contrary.
Nope.
Everyone's like, oh, Repzion's a faggot. It's like, yeah, he is, but he's all right, you know.
All right, so here's what Vegan Gains said about Mr. Repzion.
Repzion's a little fucking bitch. I fucking hate that kid. Like, I usually don't have a huge issue with people I make videos about, but yeah, if I had the opportunity, I'd kill him.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it gets way more explicit.
Yeah.
Slit his fucking throat with this knife. Really like to use this knife on him.
Wow, that is really creepy.
Listen to his reason, though. This is why he'd like to use his knife on him.
Like, he really does deserve to die. Like, he calls me a sociopath. I mean,
Alright, Elliot Rogers. Jesus Christ.
he's just a piece of shit. I don't.
You hear his reason? It's because Mr. Repzion called him a sociopath.
Someone called me a sociopath. I know how to take care of those kinds of people.
Anyone
Like,
calls me a
whoa.
sociopath, I slit their throat and watch the lights go out in their
I
eyes.
retract
and
my
I jerk
statement.
off.
You're not a sociopath. You're totally nuts.
Jesus.
I don't know if he's a sociopath or not, but he's just a turd.
He's really popular, too.
Should just
Look
be
at his
killed.
Motherfucker, this guy's scary.
He also made a video about hallucinations that he has, so...
Neat.
Yep.
He's got more to
Like,
say.
he's such a smug little bitch. I'd love to just slide a knife right across his throat and just watch him, like, just look all scared.
Oh yeah, but he's
when,
not a
you know, he's
sociopath
just
at
dying.
all.
Oh my God.
He does. He wants to watch someone look all scared while they're dying. How dare he call me a sociopath? It's like, what?
You know, if I were Repzion, I'd be legitimately scared of this guy. I mean, hell, I'm not Repzion, and I'm legitimately scared of this guy. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that he claims he's like this ethical vegan who loves all life and cherishes animals and shit.
Unless
But
they've got
Mr.
a big
Repzion
YouTube
slit his throat while I look. I want to see him like all scared. I want to see him tremble. Ooh, yeah, I want to see him piss his pants as I cut his fucking throat.
Man, this
then
really does strike me some Elliot Rogers shit. This is...
I'm gonna fuck his throat hole. Yeah, I'm gonna come right down his fucking freshly cut throat wound.
He did make a video about getting a vasectomy that was shades of Elliot Roger.
Did he?
So yes, he did recently. So yes.
God damn. There's no sense responding to him because he's just a fucking idiot. Like, I've already made him look like a complete retard.
Not really.
No.
Oh, yeah. He looks like the retard, yeah. Sorry, man.
Like, anyone with half a brain could see how fucking hypocritical he is.
He's almost
That
as
is being
hypocritical as a
hypocritical.
sociopath that
Yeah,
claims he's not and is going to slit your throat if you think otherwise.
Yeah, I'd rather be a hypocrite than a sociopath. I really would. I mean, Jesus.
I
Look
mean,
at this guy's face, though. Look at it. Fucking deranged.
yeah, so be prepared for the Vegan Gains theater shooting or whatever.
Yeah.
He'll probably go shoot up a McDonald's or something.
It's a lot harder to get guns in Canada, though, so I don't know.
It'll probably be a mass stabbing.
Where is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of regulation compared to the U.S.
It's not. It's mostly like hunting related guns and sport related guns. It's not like here where it's guns like designed to mow down like a group of people, which is what you could get here.
Like, what was it? Wasn't it like the Aurora shooting that was with shotguns and stuff like that?
He had all sorts of things. He had like gas grenades and.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong
A lot of mass shootings are actually done with pistols for some reason.
Yeah.
It's probably
So
'cause
I'm
it's
sure this
easy to
guy could-
conceal.
Easily available,
I believe
too.
in you, Vegan Gains. I think you could conduct a very, very sound massacre, especially for Canadian standards. You know, I believe in you, man. You can do this.
Yeah, Canada has not set the bar high, you know? You got this, buddy.
Oh. Shit.
I hope you're better at mass shootings than you are at this game.
All right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, okay. People keep sending me this video, and I'm so annoyed by the person in the video that I've not used it so many times, but it keeps coming in, so I'm just going to play it.
All right, hold on. Before we do this, though, have you guys heard about the Beast?
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because they're allegations, and
I've checked the documentation on this.
No, I have to hear it now.
Oh God,
the Beast, the frequently lambasted person on the Drunken Peasants. We watch his videos. He's a gigantically obese guy who talks about. It talks very repetitiously about how women are. They need to do what he says or whatever else, and he's always bemoaning the fact that he
with
can't.
These bad boys, he needs to get with the Beast, even though he's boring because he'll
he's
take
a
care
nice
of you.
guy.
Anyway, he's been arraigned for distribution and possession of child pornography.
What?
Yes.
Yep. And this has been substantiated?
Pretty much.
He's been arraigned.
Oh wow.
He's not been brought to trial. This is alleged. You have to put. Alleged.
This is allegedly. This is the Beast that has done this.
I'll cover this story after everything's said and done for sure.
Sure, that's crazy.
But
though,
I
to
just
hear
thought
that.
people should know that the Beast of Drunken Peasants infamy is at least has at least been suspected of possessing and distributing child pornography.
Oh
So,
wow.
Pretty
I
interesting.
don't even know who this is.
Well, you should check it out.
Yeah, you should. But that's crazy to find that out. I want to cover it. You know, I'm sure they'll probably make the media up there in like Nova Scotia or wherever he's from.
Sargon, are you familiar with Kent Hovind?
I am.
All right. Well,
he's not as amusing as Josh Feuerstein. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
I like that guy a lot. He looks like Fred Durst's fat brother.
Kent Hovind has been doing hard time for nearly a decade, so I guess we could give him a pass on that.
What, did he not pay his taxes or something?
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. So he just recently got out. He's agreed to an exchange on our show, which, by the way, we need to get that rolling.
Thunderfoot has responded, but I don't know if it's going to work. So
Okay,
we'll
well, if it's not going to work, then we should probably get him.
With 10 minutes of solid laughter.
No, he Thunderfoot has said he's willing to do it, but he wants it to be more of a discussion than a debate. But that doesn't seem to be what Kent has in mind, so I'm not sure.
If Kent wants real exposure, then we'll talk to his handler or whoever that.
Sure.
Yeah. So Brett Keane made 2 videos, one pleading to Kent Hovind not to come on our show, and then the other one about how Kent Hovind will destroy the amazing atheist. So I thought we'd browse these 2 videos.
Then why would it be against it?
God exists.
No. Brett Keane spent the beginning of his YouTube career proving that God doesn't exist. Or trying to, anyway.
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah.
Right.
So, are you familiar with Brett Keane at all?
I'm not, no.
You're not missing too much.
You're lucky.
You're not missing anything.
All right.
You're about to be clued in.
Well,
I'm sorry for you.
You're missing a lot of mouth breathing.
He used to be an atheist on YouTube that was bigger than TJ at one point. And now he's faded into obscurity and is now converted to being a God believer.
Yeah, God believer.
Not a Christian, mind you.
Not a theist.
A God believer. No, he's a
no.
He actually is. He believes in
is
the
a Christian.
divinity of Christ and that Christ died for his sins, but he's not a Christian.
AKA, he's full of shit.
He's a God believer. That is the terminology that he wants to use. Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my gaming channel, Games You Love, as well as my Brett Keane Superstar channel. And don't forget God TV Radio International. This video is directed to Kent Hovind, whom I've noticed since he has been back. He's been making a lot of videos out there. And since he has returned into the public, there's been a great deal of groups of atheists out there who are calling him out and wanting to pull him into their live shows.
I think we're the only one.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone else.
I think there's one other. I think there's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Hovind,
Hovind!
But Mr.
You don't even know
Bovine.
his name!
Mr. Bovine.
Mr. Hovind.
Hovind, I don't know.
Mr. Kenny Hovind, how you doing?
Well, he calls the Quran the Quran.
The Quran.
I've been on the Drunken Peasants before, and I can tell you that the people who are hosting that are complete and utter idiots. They do not know how to debate. They are the type of people who are very racist. They have been caught making fun of rape victims. They also sit there and get drunk while talking. They don't know anything about debate. That's why they're called the Drunken Peasants. Not worth your time, Mr. Hovind.
Oh, that's why they were called the Drunken Peasants, because someone else gave you your name.
Right.
We were named because...
I dub thee the Peasants of Drunken.
The inebriated peasants. No, not same ring to it. The Drunken Peasants. And then we were named. And that was it.
The intoxicated serfs.
You have another user called JD Kane who literally has a video series called Talk Shit, which is about talking trash about people all over YouTube. You do not want to get involved with this individual. Even if you wanted to be polite and get on his show, he's long-winded. He will never let you talk.
He's long-winded. Brett Keane is calling someone else long-winded, everybody.
That's the king of the fucking windbags is like, you're long-winded. It's like, dude, you can't even make a point. It takes you an hour to make one point.
Basically, we've already heard, what he's going to say in this one, so I'm going to start the next one here.
Sure.
This is debate predictions. Kent Hovind will destroy the amazing atheist. I like how he puts it just as your username in the title.
I wasn't even going to debate him personally, though.
The only way that this could happen is if he could prove God actually exists. That's the only way. And he's going to be like, well, the Bible says so. Okay, that's not proof.
Kent Hovind is like the Gish Gallop master, basically. That's basically what he does. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my Brett Keane Superstar channel and my gaming channel, Games You Love, where we talk about the latest games and the latest tech.
Yeah, no.
We talk about everything entertainment. And, of course, on all the other channels, we talk about theology.
Why would anyone want to hear Brett Keane's insight into entertainment and tech?
What's going on with Brad and Angelina?
Today, we're going to talk about my predictions. As most of you know out there who are fans and supporters of Kent Hovind, he has taken on the challenge of the amazing atheist and his little compadre, his uneducated dropout high school student brother, and the idiot that looks like Rey Mysterio who can't even run the podcast without constant interference and problems. And
yeah, it's a pretty complicated show. I mean,
his compadres. It's like we're the old west.
And also, the thing is, we're not even going to be like the active participants in the debate. We were going to get someone who actually has a little bit more of a scientific background to debate Kent Hovind.
Yeah, we want to host a debate.
We're going to host the debate. There's no point in me, a layman, arguing against Kent Hovind, who should also be considered a layman when it comes to evolution. It makes far more sense for us to get an actual biologist or someone who has a scientific background. So that's probably either going to be Thunderfoot or JF, but we'll see who it actually ends up being.
Yeah, to be honest with you, JF has sent me messages asking, what's going on.
Yeah, well, maybe we should just go with him.
I mean...
Let's figure it out off the show.
Sure. But that's what's going on, guys, on this Kent Hovind front.
I'm quite excited about it. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I'm sure that however it goes, Kent Hovind is going to look like a fool because he is.
How dare you say that, TJ? I'm shocked and offended you would say that.
So anyway, Kent Hovind's going to trounce us.
Kent Hovind went ahead.
Hovind.
Not Kent Hovind.
I mispronounced
Kent Hovind is going to trash.
Don't pronounce it properly. Make sure you do it improperly and incorrect. Come on.
Kent Hovind.
Brett Keane is kissing this guy's ass, and he can't even say his name right.
Versus the Drunken Peasants.
Suggestions and said he would take the challenge. However, he requires that there be certain rules to the game because, you see,
I can't even run a podcast without any problems.
This man has been in debates before. He knows how things work.
So shitty, we get 100,000 views and he gets 100 views.
Dude, we need to start following Brett Keen's example.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This guy has YouTube down. We're just these idiots that know nothing.
It's so true. Anyway, we should probably skip to another video because Brett Keen's voice will put the audience to sleep.
Yeah, he's putting me to sleep. This guy is... I can't... I mean, I guess those like 7,000 people who watch his video do it as a cure for insomnia. This guy is dull as all shit.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
It's about 100 people that watch each of his videos.
Exactly.
I think we give him the background as the Vigilant Christians
The
video.
Cridulant Vision.
Yeah, the Cridulant Vision.
Yeah, which is just a Mark Dice ripoff. By the way, hi Mario. Looking forward to having you on the show soon.
Oh, hi Mario.
Hi Mario. How's it going, sweetie? Hey, sweetie. You hanging out with the Godly Bros?
Godly Bro.
Godly Bros.
Mario, will you spot me? Will you spot me while I do some crunches?
Sargon is lost.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about now.
Just making someone uncomfortable.
Okay.
You understand.
Yes.
Godly Bro.
All right, so next one. Gays are trying to reimpose slavery on the South.
I never knew.
It's totally happening, guys.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
Beware. Beware.
Mississippi is the last remaining state in the Union that prohibits the adoption of children.
By the way, Mississippi also the last state in the Union to prohibit slavery officially, which was less than 10 years ago.
Yes. Truth.
A lot of debate was going on. You know, the issue is complex, Ben. Come on. They couldn't figure it out.
You know.
I rather like
Sexual
the idea that they just
household.
stops there. Mississippi is the last state in the Union, full stop. That's just, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, this ban in Mississippi has been challenged by 4 lesbian couples. They're going to court. They're going to federal court to try to get a judge to rule this unconstitutional and dismiss it on the grounds of what the Supreme Court ruled back in June. So if they are successful, if the homosexual lobby is successful on this, then they will be forcing the state of Mississippi against its will. What do you call that? What do you call that when you force
rape.
Somebody to do something that is against their will? That's slavery.
Somebody,
it's slavery.
The state of Mississippi is not a somebody. For fuck's sake.
It's slavery is what it is. Mississippi has been enslaved
by the federal government.
Tyranny. So the homosexual lobby perfectly willing to impose their values on the entire state of Mississippi. They don't care what the state of Mississippi believes.
They'll declare homosexual martial law.
How ridiculously backwards that point of view is, you know?
Yeah,
it's like,
as if there aren't gay people in Mississippi who would like some civil rights as well.
They don't. What are you talking about?
that doesn't mean they do enslave the state.
It's just like King of Abdullah of Saudi Arabia said. There's no gays.
No gays. None. Not even one.
Actually, no. I think I'm wrong. I think that was like Assad or something like that.
I think it was, Iran. I think it was,
Yeah.
It was
Ahmadinejad. Yes, you're right. You're right.
He said he was giving a speech in New York, and someone asked about gay people. He's like, "There ain't no gay people in Iran.
Yeah, they don't exist.
They're not here. What are you talking about?
Look at all your.
They don't care what
hats.
the representatives of the people have decided. They don't care what the people have decided. They are going to impose their values on us. They are going to legislate
as if they're going to make gay marriage mandatory or something.
They all do.
We're already all gay married, Sargon.
Right. Okay,
Yes.
Well, now I can see his concern.
We were all forced to get gay married.
All of us at gunpoint.
Yeah, and then we had to consummate the marriage too.
You've got
Obama's soldiers.
On the plus side, Ben has been looking a lot more dapper lately. You know. So.
Yes, Vegan Gaines is waiting. Actually, Vegan Gaines is Canadian, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
He's already gay married, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Of course. Look, they did that in Canada a long time ago.
They mandated gay marriage there 10 years ago. You know,
slate morality to us and for us and over us. This is from the people that say you can't do that. These are the people that say you never should legislate
by these
morality.
lesbians adopting, this is all going to happen to you. That makes perfect sense. Something someone else does that doesn't really affect your life in any tangible way.
I'd like to
is
hear
going to destroy morality.
I'd like to hear him explain this to a real slave. What does your master make you do? He makes me pick cotton in the field, and if I'm too slow, he whips me.
Yeah, I have to be on a fishing boat for 23 hours a day. That really sucks. Unfortunately, some lesbians got married, and now they can adopt kids, so we're kind of in the same boat, literally.
Yeah, man. You know, it's the same thing, man. They forced me, you know, under threat of, you know, government violence to let gay people get married, and now my life is destroyed. My freedom is gone.
And the slave's just like, man, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah. Such a hard life you have.
People that say you never should impose
I thought
your
I was
values
unlucky
on other
picking
people.
this
Is
cotton.
exactly what they're setting out to do.
Wait, Christians are saying
in
don't
the
impose
state
your
of
values on
Mississippi.
other people? That's really rich.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's just a form of tyranny. When you compel people to do things contrary to their will, contrary to their conscience, that's slavery.
Don't do anything.
This guy is hilarious.
This guy is an American patriot.
He's a real American
Yes. Come on.
He is a real American.
I saw that you had Wild Bill for America on just before I got on. Man,
Yep.
I'm gutted
Yep.
I missed that guy. I love that guy.
Oh.
You couldn't create a more stereotypical representation of an American.
I think him and this guy want to make out. I mean, desperately.
I think that's just Bill with his mustache shaved and the hat on, actually.
I hope it's not so they can both get gay married when they're forced to be gay married. You know, they make a good couple.
We already all are. We're all forced to be gay married.
All of us.
Yes.
Every last American.
Some when there's an odd number, we have to be forced into like polygamist gay marriages.
Or they have to marry like an animal
It
or
ain't
something,
so
like a
bad.
dog.
An
or a
animal,
cat.
yeah. Well, that's next.
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty
coming
sure,
next.
I'm pretty sure people are starting to do it.
I
now,
have
though.
2 dogs, and I got a letter in the mail the other day. I have to marry both of them.
That's fucked.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one's really small.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sorry.
It's going to be a tough one to consummate.
I know.
As tyranny, so you think about it, who's bringing slavery back to the South?
Gays.
Who's bringing slavery?
Gays.
Obviously,
back to
the
answer
South?
is
the
It's
homosexual
It's
lobby.
the homosexual lobby.
Who's bringing
When you
slavery
compel
back
people
to the South? Just
It's the gays, dude.
So,
yeah.
The gays.
Do the American conservatives just make the British conservatives seem like liberals?
Yeah. The British Conservatives, they're nothing like this. They're not stupid. They don't live in an echo chamber. That's the thing. That's the difference. You can tell that this kind of mentality is the result of this guy speaking to nobody but other Christian conservatives, and I'm all telling him, yeah, that's exactly how it is. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's practically like slavery's being brought back to the South. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I feel. Yeah, we don't get that over here. They actually have to talk to people they don't agree with, and those people mock them.
In the United States, the AM radio dial is basically religious channels and conservative radio. And some of it's even bled into the FM dial, but the AM dial is almost all like religious and conservative propaganda from coast to coast, no matter where you drive here.
Oh, tons of Christian propaganda as well.
Yes.
You hear it all. Like, it's very rare you hear anything but that.
I heard Alex Jones all the way from one end of Kansas to the other.
Wow.
Yep.
Neat.
That's awesome.
Yep. Kansas.
It's an entertaining drive.
Yeah, entertaining drive. through
Kansas is about a 10-hour drive, like the whole state. So.
Jesus.
Yep.
At least you're entertained.
Yeah, there's
provide services
Sorry.
against their will. That is involuntary servitude. That is slavery. I submit to you.
What?
So it's just saying that you can't discriminate against someone based on the sexual proclivities. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, equal protection under the law. Yeah.
In other words,
We call them
slavery.
rights, you know.
There are people typing Welsh in our chat room right now.
Really, I don't think there are any people. I would be surprised. I don't even think Welsh people speak Welsh.
I know every Welsh person I've ever met, which, by the way, we're all vacationing in North America, could not speak Welsh, but I'm sure there are some.
Yeah.
Look at what he's written. It looks like the sort of thing Cthulhu would say, doesn't it?
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. It looks like Cthulhu.
I knew it when I saw it that it was Welsh, though. It just looks very, very Celtic looking.
You know, there's a town in I think it's in Argentina that speaks flawless Welsh because
Really?
loads of Welsh immigrants went there and founded it.
Huh. I had no
Bizarre,
idea.
isn't it? Yeah, it's right next to the Nazis.
Oh, there's a bunch of Welsh people that just heard this shit,
and they're angry.
Yep. I know the Welsh word for Welsh, and I keep seeing it. So
Cymru or
yeah. However you say it.
I my family's half Welsh, and I don't even know.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. All the Welsh people I've ever met are way taller than me, which isn't saying
You must
much.
be fucking short.
I am short.
Because Welsh people are Welsh people are effectively dwarves, like proper.
No.
Yeah, no, they are. They're on average quite stocky and short and broad.
Well, I'm like
You know?
5'10", so.
Oh god, the average Welshman must be about 5'5".
Wow, so I met all the tall Welsh.
Yeah, you must have met the tall ones.
Yeah, the Welsh giants.
It's only the tall Welsh that wander, so.
Yeah, but they're the ones that get to play
Well-known
rugby.
fact.
Did you meet their rugby teams or something?
No. It was just travelers, basically.
The tall Welsh travelers.
Gypsies.
In Canada, mostly. No, not gypsies. Just like, just people from the UK. They all come to Toronto for some reason.
That's true. There's a ton of British people.
From all over. So
Well, we're just inspecting the colonies, making sure you're keeping them maintained.
I've met Northern English people that sound practically Scottish to me, like from right near the border of Scotland.
Wow, are you looking to offend them?
No.
Hey, you sound practically Scottish. That's a way to get yourself punched.
Oh, absolutely. I know.
I don't think he would say it there.
No, absolutely not. It's kind of funny though, because just a few weeks ago, we saw Patrick Stewart speak live in front of like a huge group of people, and it's funny to think that he grew up speaking the like Yorkshire accent, and now, he speaks the Queen's English basically.
As he should, as everyone should. If you speak English, speak it properly.
So are you South English?
Yeah, I've got I've got what's known as a received pronunciation accent because my father was in the Royal Air Force, and so we moved around, and I got kind of the military brat accent.
Yeah, we have that here too.
Yeah, your accent is shit.
But
I hate it.
Hey, I think it's the reason that I have a YouTube channel. Anyone watches me.
It's even in advertising they use a certain type of English accent.
They do
here to be like, this is fancy, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What I'm saying is more respectable.
Yeah.
Now.
We're just a better class of person, though. That's the thing. You've got to understand.
So, like, what's up? We have it here too between North and South. So, what's up between the Northern English and the Southern English, and which do you side with?
Well,
is that too much of a question?
No, not really. I mean,
okay.
It's not really a side. That's the thing. It's not really. I mean, I don't side with or against anyone. Really, they're not really asking for anything that people in the South disagree with. I mean, the thing is, I mean, they're mostly sort of Labour voters who, I guess, if you were going to compare them to American parties, would be Democrats.
Like Tony Blair was a Labour prime minister.
Yeah. But
yes.
Tony Blair's a bit of a special exception because Tony Blair was kind of a corporatist prime minister. And the Labour Party have very much gone sort of mainstream corporate route, the same as the Conservatives in this country. And that's why they've got this they're having a candidacy election to see who's going to be the next Labour leader. And there's this guy called Jeremy Corbyn who is a lot like Bernie Sanders. He's not the corporate candidate, and the establishment is completely closing ranks against him. They're trying to smear him with everything. They're like, he's an anti-Semite, he's a Holocaust denier, they're trying to claim he's all of these things, and what he really is just this nice little old man who's like, maybe we should have a government that's concerned with the welfare of the people rather than the corporations. It's like, yeah, you can see why they're smearing him.
Corporations are people too, my friend.
Not in this country, thank fuck. but yeah,
every country.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and you can see them going against him, and it's just like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, I'm just seeing what the mainstream media is saying, and then I'm watching interviews with him, and he just seems like a dude who's genuinely concerned about genuine issues. You can imagine how this is shitting up the politicians, can't you? You know,
I'm seeing Free the Cornish people in the chat.
Oh god, the Cornish nationalists have arrived.
Yeah,
they're going to be the first to tell you that they're not English. So be warned, they're not English.
It's the warmest part of England, right?
It is. I actually used to live down there.
Really?
Yeah. It's imagine the most hick redneck American you can imagine, and then imagine them being born and raised in Britain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I can't return to Cornwall. But yeah, that's they're in some areas it's quite countrified, and they're all nice enough people. They just don't like foreign folk who are English.
I see.
Sound like a bunch of goddamn scum fucks.
They're all right.
We gotta wipe them off the face of the goddamn earth, you ask me.
Here's a video. It's the California police officer pulling gun on a man, recording video of him.
Well, it's obviously a crime.
Oh no, it's not.
It's an egg commercial.
Hit it. All right. No, it downloaded the wrong video. This one
This is an ad for Kroger.
Okay, you know what? Earlier, I set this video up and I didn't play it because I don't want to, because the person in this video annoys me like crazy. I even played a snippet of another video from this person for Scotty, and Scotty's like, I cannot handle this person.
All right.
I know you're talking about.
I don't.
This is a gay black guy saying that he's not gay because gay is a white racist term.
Okay.
Aquaba, y'all. Say hey to my ancestors. What up, them? What up, them? All right, y'all. So at the end of this video, I'm going to tell
this
y'all
guy?
back to my ancestors.
At
the end of this video, I'm going to.
And how do you feel about?
I actually have done a video like mocking this video, but look at his ancestors in the background. They're people he's related to.
Tell y'all about a meeting.
Who are they?
Go on, just keep watching. He'll tell you.
Chicago, May 23rd, which is this Saturday. So you want to watch the whole video, and then I'm going to give you the details at the end. So now you have to watch the video. Unless you skip the end. Don't you do
No,
that.
I don't have to watch it.
I don't want to watch it.
This. Decolonize that mind. Okay, that is.
You are
Decolonize
so
that mind.
annoying, dude.
You're looking for an excuse to not have to decolonize that mind, Ben.
See,
Yeah,
do
Ben.
you not think that maybe you should introduce this guy to vegan games? If he thought he hated Mr. Repzion.
Colonial world. So, anyways, I'm here to tell you, like the title says, I'm not gay. Hell no, girl. Hell no, I ain't gay, girl. I ain't gay. Hell no.
Can he come over and hang out right now? God, he's like
so charming.
Yeah.
He's like Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element.
Absolutely.
Corbin Barrett.
He is. He really is.
I am SGL, which is same gender loving, which is an
it's Corbin Dallas.
I'm SGL, which is same gender loving.
Same gender loving.
That's not gay. Because gay is a white European construct, and black people can't be gay because being gay is racist. But sorry, I'll let him finish. I just know how this ends. Go on.
I'm not kidding. Construct created for and by Africans, and we'll talk more about that later. But first, let me tell you why I'm not gay. First and foremost, gay is a European social construct created by Neanderthal Tom cave beast sociopath parasites for Neanderthal Tom cave beast sociopathic parasites.
That's his description of white people, just in case anyone's wondering. That's what he thinks white people are.
Maybe we need to talk to G-Time Johnny.
Sounds
TJ.
pretty accurate, man. I don't know. I've always felt like I was a sociopathic time beast thing.
Parasite.
I've always felt like that, as a white man.
Yeah, you're always like, I can't quite put my finger on what I am, but that definitely does describe
Yeah,
white
now that I
people
hear him
perfectly.
say that, I'm like, yeah, that's me. Down to a T. J.
To a T.
And any social construct created by Europeans for Europeans is going to be anti-black.
Inherently.
And it's
anti-black.
At its root, it just hates black people.
Yeah, but so here we go. So now, gay people are anti-black. There we go. That's exactly what he's saying, and he'll say it again. Go on.
Sorry about it, okay? Gay is anti-black. They are all about their reality, their viewpoint in society, their struggles, their reality, okay? And their goals, and they are not inclusive to anyone else, okay? Gay is anti-black. What? You said you want receipts? You said you want receipts from the door. I got receipts for you. I got
Receipts?
What the fuck is this guy on about?
Yeah.
But there we go. I mean, he thinks that gay people are just anti-black. I mean, what more do you need from this chap?
I mean, there's nothing you could say. It's just really annoying and insane. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to I can't even think of anything to riff off of it. It's just like annoying and bad and horrible and should never be seen by human eyes.
Can you imagine going to a gay pride parade and saying, "Excuse me, sir, do you realize that you're actually anti-black?" And they're like, "What are you fucking talking about?" You know, but this guy's got a weird, twisted, like, little train of logic. You know, and they'd be like, "Well, should you not just be same gender loving?" And it's just like, well, I think we already are. You know, for fuck's sake.
Why is he speaking English? You know, shouldn't that be a racist institution language because it was developed by the white people?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure English is anti-black.
Yeah, English is anti-black, dude. You need to start speaking some kind of African language.
Well, actually, teacher, remember
with lots of clicks.
Remember when we went to Brussels? There was a gay pride celebration going on. It was actually an anti-black celebration going on.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of Klansmen there.
They were like, "Oh, we're so glad that black people have been oppressed."
Why do you think so many Klansmen show up to gay pride rallies? You know,
that's a good
now
point.
you know. Now you know. Ben, we can't watch this. This is horrible.
Yeah, this person is awful.
This is pure pain to try to sit through.
Yeah, this makes suicide is painless seem like a viable option.
If you want receipts on them rainbow Skittles, child,
Yeah.
them Neanderthal time, pig in the blanket penis, okay? Lay back to get
Pig in
doped
a
up and
blanket
roped up
penis.
in drugs and dance to
Pig in a
that lame
blanket
ass
penis.
beat at the club. Do, 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 do. With all them lights and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so disgusting. I swear, white gay men and their drugs goes together like white on rice, honey. But anyway.
Uh-huh. So, die.
This is nonsensical.
Just die and never grace this screen again.
I concur.
Yes.
What are you guys talking about, man? This guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
You know, Ben, we just can't see the appeal somehow.
I don't know.
Some way.
The fly on the screen likes him. I think he thinks he's a piece of shit. Literally, a fly just landed on his eyebrow and has been just sitting there on my monitor.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on.
Moving on up.
All right. Here's some Fox News clip.
Okay.
In camp, he thought, he said, in
Tits.
court, that she was an intruder.
Tits.
She was not. All right, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Steve. Well,
Sorority
Alabama
gets slammed.
sorority thought this recruitment video right here would be harmless, highlighting how fun it could be joining the sisterhood. But critics are now saying that the video lacked diversity and actually sends a bad message to young girls. One op-ed writing, quote, "It's also racially and aesthetically homogeneous and forced, so hyper-feminine, so reductive and objectifying."
Here's an idea. If you don't like it, just don't join it.
No. They have to stop other people from joining it because it exists, and that is offensive.
Everyone that goes to an American university knows what sororities and fraternities are all about.
Yeah, it's not mandatory to join them. They're just organizations that exist.
I honestly thought it was lame to join one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
think
not
that's the general
be
perception.
interested in joining a fraternity, even if I had been a
Because shallow motherfucking people that would make an ad like this one are part of them.
But do we really need to, like, force them to change their ad or their atmosphere or anything? No. They can do what they
just love
want.
it that that's the first thing that these people thought. They saw a bunch of people dancing. They're like, hang on. There is not a single black person here. Oh, this is transgressive. You know, these people need to be called up for being racist. And it's like, yeah, who's the racist here, really? You know.
It's also so unempowering. What do you think about that?
Unempowering.
Alabama's Alpha Phi sorority has since pulled the video. It was originally seen by 500,000 and taken down its content from Facebook and Twitter page.
Really? They felt the need to take it down.
Good for them.
It's like, some people got offended. They're like, we need to take this down. This video is offensive
Yay
to
for
people.
censorship.
Pages due to the backlash there. But did they really do anything wrong to start? Here to debate it are
No.
Fox News contributor Catherine
No, they
Kent
did not.
and columnist Carrie Sheffield. Thanks
This
for
is
being
looking
here.
very ethnically
All right,
diverse
Catherine,
panel,
Christiane,
TJ.
Yeah, where's the black people in this panel?
But no, it's I bet these women are the progressives who are going to tell us why this is okay to take down.
on with this video to recruit for the sisterhood?
No, I thought this video was hilarious, honestly. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, this is Fox
I don't know
News,
how this
so.
is national news. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to join that sorority.
I would've been in it if I
was in a
would've been
sorority. I
there.
never once, like...
Yeah, Ben wants to be a member of that sorority.
No, she would have said that. She would have been like part of the wet T-shirt contest or whatever.
So would you have been?
Okay, sure.
It'd have been
I could have won.
That's going to be the next fan fiction.
danced around in my bathing suit and blew glitter out of my hand because that's not what I wanted. So if I saw that, I would say, hey, I don't want to. But if these women want to, they're adults. They can do that. I don't get why people are so mad.
You see it differently, Karen?
I'm pissed. All right, now we're going to hear Karen's perspective.
Well, I don't have a problem with the video per se because it was made by women for other women. But
They
I think
all
it's
look like
it
future
speaks to a
Fox
broader
News
problem I have
anchors.
with Greek life. So I went to 2 colleges, BYU and Harvard, where they don't even have Greek life. Greek life is associated with binge drinking, sexual reckless behavior, smoking. I mean, we got to
Sounds cool to me.
ask ourselves as taxpayers.
I don't see a problem.
Do we want to subsidize Pell Grants, other money going to subsidize basically your party life? I think that's wrong.
I'm cool with that,
also
too.
associated with higher graduation rates by 20% and a
Really? I didn't know that.
lot of other good things rather than just drinking and partying. That was not realistic. The reason why it was used is because it wasn't realistic.
Let me ask you this about, it doesn't have data yet behind it, but it will say, one writer, A.L. Bailey, in the op-ed, one of
Have data behind it, just like Spot the Cat in Gail's book.
Someone in the chat room said, hashtag drunken sexists.
Drunken sexist. Man, all these stupid bitches. Let me tell you, why the fuck they on my TV?
They all need to be dancing on top of their chairs.
I mean,
Or in the kitchen making me a sandwich.
You know, they should be naked in the kitchen, pregnant, making me a sandwich, and accepting my rape seed.
And Sargon's like, crickets, crickets.
Hey, no, we just don't get much exposure to Fox News over here. So
Yeah. Doesn't it almost seem satirical to you?
You know what? After dealing with like the extreme progressives, it seems rather tame. You know, they're not saying that being gay is anti-black. So I mean, what is there to say after that?
It's true. It's true.
Indeed.
his other quotes, he likened the fact that men like Donald Trump are buying what they're selling, and it actually puts women in a difficult position there, and that the men are buying it, and one of them Donald Trump. Catherine, you say?
I like how Donald Trump has become relevant to every single discussion.
I don't.
Now we have people typing about the IRA in our chat room.
Fucking IRA. So
When will
fucking
it end?
pertinent.
What the fuck?
So topical.
Yeah. Patriot games, motherfucker.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
That anyone's
It's
ever
amazing
had.
how many nations
But
say.
Right. Well, you know our story, right?
Well, something about rebellious colonies, isn't it?
It's Paul Revere, who's like a legendary figure in American history. He was like, who knows what he was doing? He was out riding in the middle of the night, he was out riding in the middle of the night,
So probably a drug dealer,
further away from town than most people would have at that time, riding around, and he saw a giant wave of British troops coming, and warned, the American troops in time for them to win the battle. Basically,
I don't think he spotted it. I think it was like someone else lit a candle or something to signal it, and then he went off.
Was
the
that
ride.
it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Why does he get all the credit?
Actually, Paul.
Actually,
the funny thing is that Paul Revere actually made a very small part of that ride. There was another guy that. I think his name was like Theodore Thistle or some shit.
Here's another question.
That actually did most of the ride. But
here's another question I ask a lot of
no one cares.
A lot of English British people.
Yeah.
Do you know who Benedict Arnold was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, but I've read quite a lot of historical works. So
Right.
I think most British people wouldn't know who Benedict Arnold was.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's like still a term that we use till this day. Like, you're a Benedict Arnold.
Well, the great patriot Benedict Arnold. What's wrong with him?
Oh, he was just supporting his king, right?
Absolutely. It depends on what side of the fence you sit. Doesn't
Exactly. Yeah.
The worst Arnold since Tom Arnold.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember reading that he's a very talented sort of commander,
He chose the wrong. Did he go back to England and live out the rest of his life there?
I think he was killed.
Was he killed?
I thought he was.
Okay.
I could be mistaken.
Never
I
mind.
can't remember off the top of my head.
If that's true, then he made the wrong choice. If he got away and lived in England,
then he made the right choice.
I think he did get away.
If he got away, then whatever.
We don't know. We're stupid. Anyway.
You know, if those women want to present
I'll look
themselves
it up
that way,
now.
that's their choice.
Yeah, I think we've already explored this. I'm going to talk now. Hey, Sargon. What is up in your neck of the woods, buddy?
I don't know what's going on in England. Not much.
All right.
It's 4 a.m, so most people in England are asleep, which is frankly for the good of the nation.
It's funny when we got back from Europe, because we went to like the middle of southern Europe, like Italy and like South France.
Looks like he died old in England, so he made
In
the right
England,
choice.
yes. So he got away with it.
Old for the time, anyway.
Yeah,
I
and you
mean-
guys are now bogged down in Afghanistan and Iraq. See, sucks for you. You made the right choice.
Yeah, we at least in Afghanistan, we just took over, for the Russians at that point.
Yeah.
Took over.
Iraq, I mean, that was originally a British territory, I believe.
Well, kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was carved up when the British took control of the Middle East. It was established as a territory there. It was I think it was a puppet king who they established in Iraq to be more easily controlled. I might be wrong, so don't take that as.
Yeah, we've done the puppet thing a few times in our history.
Well, who do you think you learned it off?
Of course.
We perfected it.
Yeah, Independent Kingdom of Iraq. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing, though. In Canada, which Scotty will tell you, they are taught in their history course that Canadians burned down the White House.
Oh yeah, give me a break.
And this is like, and normally Scotty is like trumping it up, but I know, like, as far as this issue goes, he is not at all.
Okay, well, it's
Yeah, because
bullshit.
they
Canada was not
actually
even a
did do that.
country. But Canada was not a country at the time. Canada
No,
became
it was a
country.
British army.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't until very recently.
The White House was burned down, but
Yeah, it was.
it's not Canada. Like, we burned down the White House. I hear that all the time.
Yeah, they say like, "Oh, we won the War of 1812." I'm like, no, it was not Canada. It was the British.
Yep.
And it was, and they signed a treaty, and pretty much like.
And the War of 1812 was mostly a stalemate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why territory wasn't lost or given
In
up.
Louisiana, the Battle of New Orleans is like trumped up, but the Treaty of Ghent, I think, was the treaty that they signed, was already signed. It was just that, obviously.
At the end of the War of 1812, most parties left with what they had when they came into
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big dicks. I don't
TJ thinks history is... Oh, by the way, Sargon, did you see TJ's videos from the British Museum?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, wow, I'm going to play some. I just want to let you know, TJ was teaching history to the Drunken Peasants fans.
Yes,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was 100% accurate history. The like of which has never been seen before or since.
Yeah, so I would like your critique of this analysis of some ancient artifacts. Here we go. Welcome, Drunken Peasants fans. TJ and I are having a tour of the British Museum, and a lot of people may not know this, but TJ's actually an expert on ancient British history, and he's, he's giving me a lot of information. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so TJ took it upon himself to teach me at the British Museum what he knows about ancient history.
And it's pretty impressive.
Yep.
So much information.
Like, who's this guy right here?
That is Mercury.
Yeah.
He's so named because he died of mercury poisoning.
Oh, that's where the
pretty
name Mercury.
That is, as far as I can remember, completely true.
In 1970.
1970.
Right. The ancient past.
The ancient past.
Earlier than we have written records. and that's why his face is so fucked up.
His nose
mercury
fell off.
poison made his nose fall off, kind of like syphilis, you know. And there's some bones that fell out of his skull. Mercury poison really got him bad.
Yeah.
Ate too much fish, you know.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of mercury in fish.
It was a big problem.
Yeah.
The 70s were crazy times. I always talk about all the people I killed back in the 70s. It was just what you did back then. It wasn't that murder wasn't exactly legal in the 1970s, but
it was suggested that it was.
It wasn't really enforced. The laws against murder weren't really being enforced at those times. And so I'm not ashamed to admit I killed a number of people in the 70s, but I repented in the 80s and really,
what was the one time you told me someone spilled your milkshake, so you had to kill them?
No, actually, I didn't kill the person that spilled my milkshake.
He was stoned to death.
I killed the person who slipped on the milkshake.
Oh, okay.
Because I was trying to scoop it back in the cup.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's kind of rude of them.
And they got it everywhere, you know.
All right, here's another one of TJ at the British Museum.
Ancient poop pods.
Over here we see some toilets of antiquity. This one here is one of my favorite pieces. See the distressed face right there?
Yes.
You can zoom in on that.
Yeah.
That's as if to say to the king, well, peasants would just shit in the street, but if you were a king, you had one of these, and that.
So that face looks like it's judging you for taking shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Stop shitting in me. Because that would amuse the king, you know.
He's mad.
He's angry because he's full of shit. And he doesn't want to be. But, and then when you were done, you tossed it out the window onto some peasants' heads.
Oh.
And the peasants weren't too happy either.
No, I would imagine not.
But no, but that was pretty much how royalty lived back in the 1920s, I believe.
1920s, I believe.
Well, I had to think for a moment because it might have been the 30s.
TJ, you should be a history professor.
I pretty much am. But history
I think
is.
we'll learn something here today.
I think so too. I feel like we've all grown as people since we've been here together. Especially Sargon. He came here a bitter, jaded, hateful man, but now he's a compassionate, loving individual. That's just his cup runneth over with love for his fellow man.
The poop pots.
And now I'm going to stream Call of Duty and talk about Mr. Repzion.
Love to slit his fucking throat.
I really can't get over that fucking guy. I mean, literally just sat there with a completely straight face going, yeah, I'd like to slit his throat and watch him die.
And he was like, with this knife. And he pulls it out like, this is the knife I will kill him
This
with.
is the very knife I shall use to slit Repzion's throat.
Here's a ticket to where Repzion lives. Here's an outline of his house. Here's the window I'm going to go into. But, it's like, oh, wow.
But it's not a threat, guys.
I think Mr. Repzion is packing, honestly. So.
Yeah, he's shown me his. Oh, you meant his gun. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His firearm, TJ.
Sorry. I was confused for a moment. I lost.
Is he really?
I lost the thread.
TJ never misses an opportunity to make a dick joke.
No.
Never.
They're not jokes either. But yeah.
It's like when the sun will rise, TJ will
It doesn't even have to be a dick joke. It could just be a dick reference. That's fine too.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, TJ.
All right, so we have someone that wants to come on the show and ask you a question.
No. Boo.
Sargon.
I say no.
No, we won't let them.
It's something about your game Necromancer.
If they want.
All right.
Bring him on.
All right, here he comes. His name is Danny. He's from West Virginia, also known as Creepy T-Shirt Guy.
Oh, Creepy T-Shirt Guy.
Creepy T-Shirt Guy.
All right.
Creepy T-Shirt Guy. He's a pedophile,
Oh God.
I'm not.
I know.
Don't worry, Danny.
He's never been convicted. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
So, Danny, what question you want to ask Sargon?
I was gonna ask him about his game.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Will there be
Well,
dicks?
I saw some of the video, but last night I heard you recite the Epic of Gilgamesh. That was nice.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. You should. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really stoned.
That's all right. I don't blame you.
wrote my questions down. So, what was the motivation behind your game?
What, making a video game?
Yeah.
I like making stuff, and I thought it'd be cool to make a game. I've never really actually done anything with my life, so it'd be nice to say, hey, I at least made something, even if it's shit.
That's cool. There are 50 levels in it.
Yeah.
50? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I should have done 25.
Well, how's the difficulty progression in it?
Well, it's not done yet, so.
Well, I kind of do have a general idea.
All Sargon has right now is just some notes scribbled on some napkins at a fucking local diner.
Right now, the expression on Danny's face is like, "Quiet, TJ. I'm alone with Sargon right now."
Ooh, let me kiss Sargon. It's just an A and B conversation.
TJ,
See your way out of it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, TJ.
Shut up, TJ.
Well, you have to be a little bit of a masochist to come on this show.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I'm trying to make it more difficult at the end, I guess.
Well, yeah. But just do the characters level up, or you decided on that?
Yeah, they do, but it's more of a sort of strategy game rather than like an RPG or anything. So they
So would it be like a command and conquer game without
something
building
similar
stuff?
To that.
The missions with only
so in each mission, your characters do level up, but it's only for the mission.
I got a better idea for your game. You can call it Dildo Entrepreneur. And it can be, you're like the head of a dildo factory, and you got to compete with the other dildo factory across the street.
That's a saturated market.
You're right.
You have to compete with the Chinese dildo market too. It's like, oh shit, emerging market. Like, oh damn, guy.
Chinese dildo market. That should be the name of the game.
Chinese dildo market.
Oh no, I'm not gonna pay that.
I see a street vendor, like an old Chinese lady selling dildos in your head when you say Chinese dildo market.
Oh, you love this dildo. It tear you up inside. Oh. It rip you apart. You feel like you get fucked by a horse.
I'm sorry to all Chinese people.
Our 3 Chinese fans are angry with you, TJ.
Okay, keep
go on with your interview there, shirt guy.
He's like, okay, I'll try.
Have you decided how many characters are going to be in it?
Yes, we have.
Ben and TJ are dying here. I think the last level of the game should just be the character dies no matter what you do.
Like in Tetris.
And just be like, this game is like life. No matter what happens, you die in the end. Give them a dose of realism.
It's not really that intellectual, I'm afraid.
Oh my god.
You should make a game where you have to fight the various social justice warriors of the internet. You know,
Actually,
and each
that is kind of what.
Sweet.
There's a hipster and a feminazi in there that you have to defeat. So.
Oh, sweet. I like it.
And her name is Emmy McErmit, right?
No, she's. We've just we've used tropes for the characters. So you've got a hipster and a douche and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what. This
is
the first time we'll tell anyone, but there is a Drunken Peasants video game in the works.
Yep.
And we've actually seen it being developed. We've seen a stage of it.
Yeah.
It's a side-scrolling action platformer.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a real thing that will be available eventually. And you can and you can expect our greatest adversaries to kind of be in it.
Yes, legally safe knockoffs of our greatest adversaries.
So is the feminazi armed with her gender studies degree?
No, she's under the flamethrower.
Oh,
sweet. That's a lot more intimidating, I think.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was.
Did you write that down? Is there an itemized thing on that list that just says
He wrote that down while him and Caden Cowger were cuddling before. I know they live in the same state, so it's pretty
They're
obvious.
homies, they hang.
Can't hide it anymore, guys.
I actually didn't hear about him until like.
Oh, yeah.
I actually didn't hear about him until he blew his load in my mouth.
Then he said his name, and I was like, oh, that's who it is.
And he's like, oh, yeah, Caden Cowder always comes first, baby. And you're like, oh, you're Caden Cowger.
No, I'm almost entirely sure it was on MSNBC.
Oh, really?
Same difference.
Same diff. You were probably just watching Rachel Maddow while you were blowing him, so that's why you got confused.
He's like, fuck you, TJ.
Fuck you, TJ. We don't.
Anything else you want to ask?
Me or him?
Danny.
Danny boy. Ask Sargon a question. Improvise a question.
He hates you, TJ. You're such an asshole.
He's got my shirt in the background. He loves me.
In the background?
Only to
Whose
complete
shirt is he wearing, bitch?
Only to complete the collection, TJ. He's like, you know what? I don't even want to get TJ's
Yep.
shirt, but I want the complete collection, so fuck it.
Well, that still works.
He probably uses that shirt to like clean up dog shit or something.
Yep.
That's what I would use with like,
it's probably his cum rag.
I don't know.
I think it's higher standards. I think I see some crusty marks on it.
That's some wishful thinking.
No,
there,
that's just
TJ.
your name.
Yeah.
Poor Sargon.
Sargon's like, what the fuck's going on?
Sargon's just like,
Yeah,
I'm
I have
just.
no idea what this is about.
That's fine.
They assault their Patreon guests. That's what they do.
Yes.
Especially TJ.
Verbally and rectally.
He did say that before, so. Anything else you want to say, Danny?
No, I'm good.
All right, thanks for being on the show again.
Yeah, thank you.
Fuck off and die, Danny. We hate you.
For your continued support.
We hate you, Danny.
Shut up, TJ.
You're garbage.
You're an idiot, TJ. No one likes
You're a
you.
piece of shit, Danny.
No one even likes you, TJ.
Die of
We've
AIDS,
discussed this,
Danny.
TJ. We did a poll of everyone TJ knew, and like, does anyone like TJ? And the answer was like one person. It was our mom. So that's really it.
Well, at least Mom likes me.
I think she's changed. She's flip flopped. She hates you now.
Hey, Mom, why don't Scotty help you do the laundry since you have a bad back? It's not, hey, Mom, why don't I help you with the laundry because you have a bad back? It's like, why don't Scotty do it?
Make Scotty do it.
Well, Scotty is the bitch.
One time when we were kids,
he's the egg bitch.
TJ was like, TJ was in the pool. This is probably hard to imagine because TJ was actually doing physical activity. And he was like, Scotty, I'll give you $20 to get me a brownie. And I wouldn't do it. He literally threw a fit in the pool. He's like, you're my shit. You're my shit. I'll give you $20. I'm not a slave if you're giving me money.
How much water fell out of the pool when TJ got into it?
All of it. It was fucking bone dry. It was
dry.
It was the Sahara Desert after he jumped in.
Yeah, I did a cannonball. The whole neighborhood flooded.
Someone said, fuck you, Scotty. You are not funny.
Good.
Yeah, Scotty, you're not
funny.
funny.
I'm glad I can subject you to my unfunniness then. That's wonderful. That makes me smile knowing that I'm annoying you.
That person also has the screen name Ebola-chan.
Well, I mean, hey, they have Ebola. There's nothing wrong with Ebola. They're going to die, so they're probably just taking their anger out of their impending death on me. I understand.
Yep.
Some of the tests like, man, fuck you, Sargon. I'm thinking, well, I haven't said anything in about 10 minutes.
I know.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, Sargon, what the hell?
They're writing it. They're writing it the way Scotty says it. It's man, fuck you, Sargon.
Man, fuck you, TJ.
Yeah, exactly like that. So
Fuck
they put
TJ.
They put fuck in all capital letters. Man, fuck you, TJ. Yeah.
The trolls are stupid. They're like, you know what? You're not funny. It's like, then that's even better because I'm annoying you.
Even our most dedicated fans are like, oh my god, you guys are so much cooler. Like episode 50 to episode 89.
57.
This guy,
Episode 57, you guys pig.
If the old Drunken Peasants had Sargon on, they would have done something with him.
They would have destroyed
The
Sargon.
new Drunken Peasants just talk over him, don't even give him a chance to talk. Sargon, I don't even know why Sargon would come on such a lowbrow show.
It's beneath him.
It's so far beneath him and his great mighty intellect.
I saw you tweeting to Shoe on Head, and I guess she's eventually agreed to come on, but with Armored Skeptic. I don't know.
You guys should definitely have them on there, both awesome.
I wanted them on individually. I guess she thinks we're crazy. She has a problem with the Anita picture that I took.
Well, you are a stalker, Ben. Come on,
Yeah.
Showing up before someone even knew what someone was going to be there is like preemptive stalking.
I didn't bother her.
Preemptive stalking, Ben.
I didn't even get close to her.
Ben goes to bars before they open. Is like, I'm sure women will come here. I can stalk them then.
Especially, yeah. I mean, I
love Anita suckies and complain about it. It's like, Anita, you're
You guys ever
on
seen
you're famous. You're
Yep.
a fucking
Right.
celebrity. Someone saw you and took a photo of you. That's what happens to celebrities. For the love of fucking God.
I've never seen that before in my life. I've never heard of the paparazzi.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Psychopath with Elijah Wood?
Loosely based on Ben's life.
Well, that is Ben.
Well, I mean,
Ben just stalks and kills women. That's what he does.
Evidently, I'm very bad at that then.
Yeah, you shouldn't have put it on Twitter. That was your problem.
Well, that was an accident. He actually meant to send it to someone else that was probably a part of his hit squad.
Oh, and then he put it on Twitter on accident.
I even saw that one guy, Hannibal the Victor. You have him featured in your... He made a video saying I should be sued by Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh, you should be arrested as well, Ben. You should be in the bottom of a jail right now.
Because I took a picture. It's
He's
hilarious.
the guy threatened to be a Thunderfoot, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He lives in the same state as us, actually.
Ben, you belong in a supermax prison, Ben. 24 hour day confinement.
Until
no,
you can
no
suppress
visitors,
your
nothing.
rape urges. You're a bad person, Ben.
If I have them, apparently I can contain them.
Think of the Anitas.
So.
Only because there's a large crowd of people.
Think
there,
of
Ben.
the Anitas.
Imagine even an elevator with Anita, Ben. Oh my God, what would have happened?
I would have taken a picture of her and ran out of the elevator.
Nope.
You'd like to say that, Ben.
No, it'd have been like The Shining, but the elevator would open and it would have been a fucking giant torrent of semen. And Anita would have just been on it, like on a fucking inner tube, going,
yeah, I guess Shoe-On Head thought my picture was creepy. I wasn't trying to be creepy. I just knew that no one would believe it.
Creepy.
Even these two guys. I don't think these two guys would have believed that I just happened to be downtown in the city that we live in, and I'm sitting there hanging out, and all of a sudden Anita Sarkeesian walks through the fucking door and sits down behind me.
Ben is creepy. Ben, let me correct you, Ben. We don't believe it was a coincidence. We know you preemptively stalked her. Come on.
You knew where she was going to be.
You knew.
Obvious. Just like you always know the price is going to be $14.95.
Yep.
You know.
Evidence right there. Ben always knows it's going to be $14.95.
Ben is a prophet.
Is that how I always know what the dice are going to roll in craps too?
Yep, that's it. It all makes sense.
I'll tell you what. We went to Las Vegas just recently, and TJ was like, "This is a casino Ben thinks he wins all the money at." Walked away with like $2,000 by the end of the trip.
Shut up.
You. TJ, I don't even know why you doubt Ben with gambling at this point. He's won so many times. If you won one time and lost every other time and he was bragging, I could see you being like, Ben, you're an idiot.
And I'm like,
extended beginner's luck.
Here's the thing. I'm like, TJ, if you want to win, come with me to this table and bet the way I'm betting, and I'll show you how to win these games. And of course, I will admit, the house always has the advantage, and you can lose a lot if you don't know when to walk away.
Sure.
But there's still a system you can learn. TJ is just so afraid of human contact, he won't go to the table. Like, you stood next to me at the table while I was winning all the money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not like socializing, like, how's your day today?
Yeah, the most you do is like, roll a 7, roll a 10, whatever. That's
Please
it.
roll the number I want.
Yeah.
Yay, buddy, we're friends. High five.
Yeah, exactly.
You lose. Oh, God, I hope someone else rolls the dice.
Humans are disgusting.
Disgustingly rich.
Disgusting. So
Sargon's like, okay, well, whatever.
Sargon's
like,
I just want to go to bed, man. I just want to go to bed. Let me off this damn show. When's this fucking thing gonna end? They just keep it going and going.
I do want to grab a cup of tea, though. Is that all right?
No.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not.
Of course. Just let us
Sit
know when you're back. And by the way, everyone, we're going to continue the show on our audio stream with Sargon after we go off the air here on YouTube. And that's something we're going to keep doing. If you want extra content, join us. Subscribe to us on iTunes or go to SoundCloud.
Yep. Said TJ. Go
Okay,
get your
I'll be
fucking
back in a minute.
tea.
All
Go get
right.
your fucking tea, you
And while-
English piece of shit.
And actually, I think we'll talk to Sargon about the fight TJ almost got into on the
Yeah, sure.
London Tube. But as far as YouTube is concerned, we're done.
We're done.
Fuck you, YouTube.
Yep.
Farewell, YouTube.
Not funny, TJ.
Good night, bitches.
Not funny. Scotty, not funny.